quarter, they sent a signal to the hockey world. The Bruins won a game against the Canadiens that in many other years they probably would have lost. In fact, there were some who felt the Bruins had no business winning Game 2 at all. But the Bees refused to quit, tying the game late and grabbing the win in overtime for a 2-0 lead in the Adams Division Final. If there were doubters among Bruin fans, they had to be rubbing their eyes in disbelief Monday night when the Bees ran away from the Canadiens in Game 3. Was it really happening? Were the Bruins dominating the Canadiens at the Forum? Led by a local hero, the answer to both questions is yes.
Takes off the Bork. Bork cuts in, a shift, cuts in deeper, and stand on the shot. Gets it now for quick shot. Score by John Carter! And a 3-2 lead for Boston, set up by Ray Bork. John Carter. Moving near the net, broken up by Galley, rolls across in front of backhander, the score by LeBeau, the rebound of a close shot. 2-1 Montreal. LeBeau from Corson.
Well, so much for the sweep. The Canadiens refused to go down on Forum Ice a second time Wednesday night, scoring 3 third-period goals in their 4-1 win. So tonight, the series shifts back to the Boston Garden, where the Bruins have a number of things in their corner. First of all, home ice, where it would be oh so sweet to put the Canadiens away once and for all. And second, their motivation will be high as they do not want a return trip to Montreal for a potentially series-tying Game 6. Up next, the Bruins look to clinch the Adams Division title 4-1. It's the Bees of the Montreal Canadiens live on NESN. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dave Day, and welcome to the Boston Garden for tonight's Game 5 and what could be the final game of this Adams Division final series between the Bruins and the Canadiens. Don't expect a lot of changes from game number 4, won by Montreal. The Canadiens, if they are to change anything, they'd like to stay away from the bad penalties, the chippy penalties, not give that Bruin power play any more chances than necessary. For the Bruins, all they'd like to change is the intensity with which they come out tonight. It was a pretty quiet and subdued dressing room before tonight's game. Bruins with nothing but business on their minds. So look for Boston to come out hot and heavy to start this game. Montreal fighting for their lives. It should be a beauty. Roy and Moog once again for the 5th time in this series. For a closer look at this one, let's go up to the booth right now with Fred and Derek.
Thank you, Dave. You look for leadership in Stanley Cup playoff action, and the Canadians got it from the veteran centerman, Guy Carbonneau, no question.
Guy Carbonneau is a tremendous player. I mean, his whole career, he has been probably the premier defensive player in the game. But what the Montreal Canadiens have asked him of late is to come up with some offense, and he's done that. I mean, I think it's taken him away from his role a little bit, but still, he is very, very adept at stealing the puck, creates a lot of opportunities. The Bruins are going to have to watch him real close.
And his defense has not suffered at all. He'll be a key man for the Montreal Canadiens. For the Boston Bruins, well, you name the two. Captain Ray Bork, assistant captain Cam Neely.
While they are the two premier players at their positions, probably, I've said it before, in the world, and they are going to have to play like that tonight. They're going to have to lead this hockey club from a bit of a doldrum performance. They were kind of down a little bit. They weren't too happy with the way they played in Montreal, and that leadership right there is supplied by Bork and Neely. That's why they got the C and the A, and that's the responsibility. They have the talent of this hockey club. It's just got to regroup and work very hard tonight. Tonight's going to be a game that could be very key.
And one other dimension in this game, the weather. It's going to be very, very warm at the Boston Garden.
It's going to be hot. They know that. The ice wasn't flooded properly, like with the fresh surface. It was left on its own. The crew here is going to have to work on that ice. It's going to be awful humid in here. That'll tell a lot on the heavier players. And it's something that fatigue will be a factor. You want to get this game started, get a great lead, and get working on it early.
We'll have the opening face-off in just a moment.
Welcome back to the Boston Garden. We're just about set for the start of tonight's game. Let's take a look at who will not be playing tonight in Game 5. For the Boston Bruins, your normal list of backup players. No one there of significant injury, just not dressing tonight. In fact, the Bruins are about as healthy as they've been in a long time. The Canadiens, on the other hand, still without Naslund, McPhee, and Richer. J.J. Daniel will sit out tonight, as will Lefebvre Well, Derek, I would say, despite the heat tonight, the team that can establish itself physically early and take control of this hockey game is going to be the one better served.
It's going to be, I think, an early wrestling match, and it's who's going to wrest it away from the other one. It's going to be one in the trenches this game, and I think you got to... The first goal is going to be important. That'll show which team is, that'll allow that other team to have to open it up. Maybe you can steal a second one. What you got to do is going to be a little bit of a mindset early for that first goal.
Well, Ray Bork going through his pregame ritual with Andy Moog. Pat Burns with his customary flair.
If Ray Bork is focused when it comes to mentally, I mean, he's scary when he's playing well.
All right, with the teams at their blue lines and the officials at center ice, Rene Radford has microphone in hand along with organist Ron Harry as Rene performs the Canadian and American national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. What so closely at the twilight flashing, whose just and bright stars through the perilous skies. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly shielded. And the rocket's red flag, double bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say
This crowd, I think, is going to try to win this game on its own before the puck drops. Here's Denny Morrell, your referee tonight. Gordy Brosiker and Kevin Collins will be the linesmen. Of course, you know who is sitting in the cage for the Montreal Canadiens tonight, Patrick Roy.
Upstairs is going to be the key on him. He's had problems with the Bruins the whole series up there.
I don't think anything more can be said about Patrick Roy that hasn't been in the previous 4 games. The same applies for number 35, Andy Moog, in goal tonight for the Boston Bruins. Moog has had a sensational postseason to date. Bruins would like to see it continue tonight as they do not want to return to the Forum on Sunday. We're underway. Here's Fred.
And the draw to the Canadians. Back for it, Ludwig. He's on defense with Chelios. Skrudland is in the middle. Gilchrist on the left and Lemieux on the right. Puck cleared. Wave off the icing. Wesley checks in deep. And knocked down on the play. And penalty off the bat. Canadians are penalized. Skrudland taking down Wesley. And a power play for Boston.
NESN's exclusive presentation of Boston Bruins hockey is brought to you in part by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. And by Nissan, building cars for people who want more than just a means of getting from here to there. Nissan, built for the human race. And by Sullivan Tire Family Car Care Center, because family spirit is what Sullivan is all about. And by your New England area Century 21 offices. Put your trust in number 1, Century 21. And by Gillette and the revolutionary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Gillette, the best a man can get. Well, many wondering what kind of game Denny Morrell would call tonight. Morrell letting everybody know right after that.
That could have been 5-minute major. He's very lucky. Denny Morrell gave them a break. Canadians complaining about it, but that is that intent to injure penalty from behind when a player is facing the board.
The faceoff outside the Boston blue line. A power play for Boston 17 seconds into the game. Skrudland for Borches. And Charbonneau out there. Christian gets it to Bork. Bork and Wesley. Christian went off. Yanni replaced him. Trop Neely. Bork fires it in. Back for Ludwig. Off the board. Not out. Kept in by Bork. Bork to Janney. Janney moving up. All the way across. Quick shot blocked. And deflected wide as Wesley cut in. Trying to get, mauled in the corners. Ludwig knocked down Trop again. In front of the net. Neely can't get it. Trying to get a handle to it. And it's broken up. And Keane clears it out. Chelios entangled with Neely. Same aggressive style for the Canadians. Nothing has diminished. Janney over the line. Moving deep. Now there's Neely back for Bork. High shot blocked and deflected into the stands. And the faceoff called. And Ludwig belted Trop.
Craig Ludwig over the ear.
This is an arm. This is an elbow. I don't know. See, Denny Morrell, unfortunate in a game like this. Now, it happened in Montreal. Marawelli let things go. Now he jumps over top of him, which is just as dangerous. You let things go. And the Bruins, you want the team to play it clean and play it hard, fine. But the referee then must be the sheriff. If you're going to commit any fouls out there, you're going to be gone.
You know, the night we talked with Ron Hogarth between periods, Derek, I asked him, can you help as a referee not make calls based on reputation? A guy like Ludwig over the years has had a reputation of the elbow or the butt end or the cheap shot. I would think an official might look for something up around the head.
Well, Hogarth was very diplomatic, but I think that they do.
The draw to Chelios. Chelios controlling. And he clears it out. Ray Bork now striding out. Carpenter to Neely. Neely in deep. Behind the net. Chelios, who's hit by Neely. You can hear that check. But Chelios gets it now. Neely checking it again on the corner. And Neely shaken up. Taking a stick, I believe. Nobody is calling anything. He's going to the bench. Nothing being called. 30 seconds left. Out comes Christian. Christian going deep. Stopping. Trying to make the play now. In deep. Janney hit by Neely is down. I have seen some cheap shots, but I have never seen in 2 minutes as many as the Canadians here.
Chelios is gone for at least 2. You know, on the far side, Fred, it was Bobby Carpenter that hit Chelios twice and got the crowd going. Neely ended up taking an inadvertent stick. I don't know if it was Chelios' stick or if it was...
Here's Janney behind the net. He sees his shoulder. Going for that if he can.
Butt in.
The face into the glass.
Butt in.
Why would the Canadians continue to, I can see playing aggressive, but talk high stick, elbows, stick in the face. Brutal.
How much of it can you take? That's the problem. This is going to get ugly if they don't cramp down on this right away.
Watch Dealey. Chelios right there gets the hit, and it's Carpenter's stick that came up and caught Cam. That's what I had a feeling. Bobby came in and put a heavy hit on Chelios, and the stick popped up and caught Neely.
Chelios for high sticking it 2 minutes even.
A 2-minute penalty to Chelios for high sticking, I believe. That's it.
Now Cam cut his lip. I assume it's the lip. It may be the gum. He may have loosened a couple of teeth with that stick.
Couple of chicklets there. Cam's got the nice smile. Got to be careful.
The Bruins have a 2-man advantage for 17 seconds, and the Canadians have not slacked off at all. In the same, look at Chelios yelling at
Denny Morrell,
saying,
"No, don't repeat what he's saying."
How about the Bruins? Indeed, prop Christian battling for it, trying to get control, trying to slide it back, blocked, fought for, prop behind the net, check. Christian gets it. Still a 2-man advantage. 4 seconds left though. Janney aboard. Bork fires, saves. Janney drops it in front, and it's cleared away by the Canadians, and they get 1 man back. First 2 penalties to the Canadians. And now 1:30 left on the second penalty. No score in the game. Bork for Janney, gets it over the line, controlled it. Janney in deep. Now back for Bork. Bork in, hit, prop, can't get it. Knocked away, and it is Skrudland clearing it to the Boston end. Back is Bork. Now to Wesley. Wesley starts it out, power play. Burridge with Janney. For Janney. Christian, shot missed the net. Taken by Wesley, kept in with Burridge. Burridge cutting, reeling. Trying to move it in front. A backhander high and a save by Roy. Behind the net, Christian with it. Trying to drop it in front, can't do it. The Canadians mass in front. Now Bork back at the line. Holding. Now to Janney. Janney all the way across. Christian couldn't handle it. Janney digs it free, gets it to Bork. Bork. Wesley. Shot. Blocked in front by the Canadians. 25 seconds left on the power play. The second one. Janney back over the line. Flips it for Bork. Bork goes deep. Holding. Now to Janney. And Janney couldn't set it up with Bobby Gould, who just came out. Bork back. Picking up Burridge, who's lost his helmet. Burridge in deep. Set it across. Nobody there to collect. Galley keeps it in. Galley for Bork. Bork fires. It is blocked. Kept in. Back at full strength. Chelios. Canadians. Carbonneau breaks it out. Now to Chelios over the line from Skrudland. In deep. Back. Carbonneau. Shot. Lead. No. Carbonneau put that one right on label. One of the best scoring bids of the night. Carbonneau there after the penalty was up. Gould to pass up. Blocked. And back comes Svoboda. Now Desjardins. The shot missed the net. In the corner. Corson fires it across. With it, John Carter. Up for Gould. Gould intercepted. Kept in by Corson with Portnall. And LeBeau. Blocked. Bruins break it out. Carter. Carpenter. Canadians stopped them coming back. Loose puck. Backhanded in by Carpenter. Fires goes in. Tried to line up Desjardins and missed him. Carter tried to hit Svoboda and couldn't do it. And the Canadians break it out. LeBeau over the line. Shot deflected wide by Wesley. Penalty on Boston coming up. Desjardins keeps it in. And now the call on Boston. With the score of Boston nothing, Montreal nothing. We'll return in a moment.
Lyndon Byers called for splashing as the teams were headed back up ice. Lyndon just missed lining up Desjardins, and here comes the splash right there.
That was, you get a defensive stick up, you anticipate it, Byers gets it up, the follow-through is what convicted him.
And now the power play for Montreal, as they have LeBeau out there with Corson and Portnall, Svoboda and Chelios. 14:50 left in the first period. Wesley able to clear it as Christian got the draw.
Boston absolutely brilliant through the playoffs, killing penalties. They have killed off 47 of 50.
Svoboda drives it in. LeBeau able to keep it in. In deep, Wesley trying to move it out. Deflection of the stands and off a Canadian maybe. Let's see. Face-off now is to the left of Andy Moe. 1:36 left on the Montreal power play.
This copyrighted program is brought to you under pay cable TV rights granted by the Boston Bruins. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the Boston Bruins and the New England Sports Network is prohibited.
Well, the Canadians picked up 2 penalties and 1 not called on Ludwig for an elbow, a board check, a high stick in the face, Chelios to Janney, and that all happened within 2 minutes, the first 2 minutes of the game. Then they killed off the penalties, overlapping for 17 seconds, and now they're on a power play. Svoboda holding it in. Gets it into Corson. Off the boards. Back. Svoboda. Lets it go. Blocked by Wesley. And cleared by Christian. Wesley going out. Shake it up as he blocked that one on Svoboda. Canadians coming back into center ice. Poulin's good forechecking.
Great
helped on this one.
By
Four
both
cleared.
Poulin and Prop.
Away comes Chelios. The drive up blocked. Poked in. And Galley whacks it out. It was blocked by Peterson. 50 seconds on the Canadians' power play. 13:40 left. First period. No score. Chelios works at center ice. Driven in now by Peterson. Mark Peterson, a rookie, playing his second series game. They're still missing Richer and McPhee. Sophomore Svoboda in front. Oh, what a stop there on Peterson by Moe. Great stop. And the puck is cleared to center ice. Galley going for it. Doesn't get it. Back comes Smith. Over the line, and hurt is Peterson. He's down on the ice. Mark Peterson, the rookie who had a marvelous scoring chance. The only one for the Canadians on this power play. Don't know what happened, and maybe we can pick it up on a replay.
Well, Gary Galley took him right to the boards, Fred, and then helped him over the boards. May have knocked the wind out of him. He had nothing to break that hit, except the dasher.
The old ribs crush in on the lungs. That makes for a lack of wind.
That's one of those penalties on the edge with the young man on the boards and Galley riding him in. And no call by Dennis Morel. Peterson is down.
Boy, Peterson had a beautiful, beautiful setup.
What a
for
save
goal.
Andy Moog made on him with the left leg.
I don't know if Andy actually saw the shot or just reacted to trying to fill an area, Derek.
Saw the pass come through, got down with the left leg.
Boy. Lemieux right there, keeping Andy company. Here it is from ice level. Nice setup by Svoboda.
Yeah, he got it. He saw it.
17 seconds left on the Montreal power play. They got the one shot there. 13:07 left in the first period. No score. 3 shots Boston and 2 for Montreal. And Peterson has a headache, it looks like.
He's got a complete body ache.
Smith, Lemieux, Skrudland. For Boston, Carpenter and Carter. Don Sweeney and Ray Bork. Don Sweeney clears. Dufresne starting it with Matthew Schneider, young man, rookie out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Then outstanding. And the puck fed in. Lemieux almost got it in front. Bork able to sweep it away. And out comes Byers. Bruins are at full strength. Around the boards, Bork trying to clear it out. Smith able to keep it in. Don Sweeney, they battle. Bork gets it. Now Byers. Carpenter trying to get away from the hits and hit it to the open man, and Don Sweeney starts it out. A rolling puck. Can't connect. Hey, look, that center ice knocked down as Lemieux by Don Sweeney. Bruins drive it back in the corner, and the Canadians take over. No score. 12-12 left. Too many men on the ice. Canadians. No call. Canadian Smith keeps it in. Checked by Galley. Into the corner. Taken down heavily. And the Bruins started out. Wesley in the center to Hoggood. Hoggood flips it in. Hustles in with Bob Sweeney. Rawat out of the net. Takes a hit. Bob Sweeney picks it up in the corner. Can't set it behind the net. Galley moves in the corner. Trying to get it to Hoggood. Checking the play deep. That's Galley. Covering for him is Janney. Janney is on defense with Wesley as the Canadians break. They elect to shoot it, and Wesley deflects it into the stands as Janney was covering for Galley. No score. First period. We're on NESN at Boston Garden.
Well, Bruins caught a break when that puck was shot. Lemieux double team.
There's the splash and Byers back with the hook stick rolled over. Carpenter and Lemieux bumping into each other. There's a push and shove, a word of advice. Johnny Carter says, yeah, see you later.
No score in the game. 11:32 left in the first period. A warm night here at Boston Garden. Understandable to those people in New England, and it's going to be a factor in the game. The way the puck is bouncing and conditioning, of course. Bork clears it right out. Canadians started right back. Desjardins drives it to the corner. Ray Bork with Portnoy after him. Away to Peterson. Up now to Hoggood. Ooh, he is belted. Over the line, Janney. That's an elbow. A wicked hit on Greg Hoggood. An elbow. And a power play for Boston. Carbonell going out. No score. First period on
going out.
Apologies. The penalty is Hoggood for elbowing and not Carbonell.
Well, Hoggood saw Carbonell coming and was preparing to get popped in the chops and apparently handed out the first blow.
And the second power play for Montreal in the game. LeBeau drives it in. Nothing fancy by Montreal. Around the boards, Wesley able to clear it out. They drive it in, hustle in, and see if they can get on top of the defenseman moving back for it. Hoggood gets the elbow check. Long clear here, stopped by Wesley and driven back in. Poulin and Burridge, the penalty killers, with Wesley and Bork. Portnoy winding up. Poulin in pursuit, breaks him up. Slides it back to Wesley. And Portnoy was just winding up to put on a flashy skating exhibition, and Poulin broke him up. Poulin stays out there with Burridge. Rushing now, Schneider. Rookie clears it in. Galley taken to the boards deep, trying to move it out. Bruins move it up, can break out with it. A lead now for Burridge. Burridge onside, short-handed, over the line. A backhander, scores! Short-handed! Randy Burridge from Dave Poulin to make it 1-0 Boston.
Any young kid, anybody playing high school hockey in New England, tell you, wherever you are, learn how to shoot a puck on your backhand. Goaltenders cannot pick it up. They don't know where it's going because, as a rule, you don't know where it's going. Right here, Randy Burridge at wit's end, fires a wrist shot backhand. Patrick Roy, 18 inches, 2 feet off the ice. A great goal by Randy Burridge.
It is short-handed, and short-handed goals have helped Boston. Remember Cam Neely's against Hartford.
That's the third. Neely against Hartford, a big one. Fred, of course, John Carter in Game 3. Probably the goal that got the Bruins going.
That was Poulin who set him away. Still a power play for Montreal. And Carter breaks it up for Bork, for Carpenter, and the clear-in. 35 seconds left on the Montreal power play. A short-handed goal by Burridge from Poulin. Over the line comes Skrudland. Checked and cleared away by John Carter. Wesley broke that up. Carter forcing the Voda back. Janney is out for Boston. 10 seconds left. Smith over the line. The shot. Block drive by Logan. Deflected in. Near him. Behind the net. Fought for. And Smith with it. Smith moves it back. Kept in by Ludwig. Near the net. Loeb is chopped at. Top gets it and can't send Janney away. Hoggett out of the penalty box. Couldn't reach it. It is icing against Boston. Boston 1, Montreal nothing. First period on NESN at the Garden.
Well, Patrick Roy taking a little stroll for himself to try to
Psych himself up. Here's Dave Poulin. Now, he's left the left side of the building open. There's 3 Canadians over there, a little bit vigorous with the slash. Galley goes into the corner.
Boy, does Gary Galley use his body well or what to shield out Forson?
There's Poulin getting it up to Burridge.
Face-off now. 1 for Galley. 8:52 left first period. Don Sweeney gets an assist along with Poulin. Bruins work it out carefully. Bob Sweeney breaks it up on Walter. And Don Sweeney clears it in. 5 shots Boston, 2 for Montreal.
You're wondering what the Bruins are doing. They're staying out high, picking up the wingers, and forcing the Canadian defense to pass it by a forechecker.
Now picking it up, Christian over the line with Burridge. For Burridge again. His shot is blocked by Chelios. In the corner, fought for. And the Canadians break it out. Carbonneau. Or rather, Lemieux. This one may be offside. It is. 1-0 Boston. First period on NESN at the Garden.
That's it. That's exactly what Pat Burns is saying. All right, forget it. Let's go get him. They're not going to call it. Let's go get him. Could Hollywood have typecasted any better a role for the head coach of the Montreal Canadiens as far as the Bruins are concerned?
Here's John Carter. Nice turnaround, but what he's going to get is a shaft of the stick blocks his momentum. Roy is down. Nobody gets to the rebound. Carter certainly not allowed much room. He got the stick out front, but not the body.
Well, they haven't put it up on the scoreboard yet as a Bruin power play.
Could be a misconduct in there.
Is Gould going to get 2?
They're all for roughing. Desjardins and Corson and Gould. 2 minutes each for roughing. That makes it a power play.
Now they just put it up on the scoreboard.
And Boston on their 3rd power play. The Canadians have had 2 and 1 backfired with Randy Burridge scoring from Dave Poulin. And the face-off in the Canadian end. 7:27 left in the first period. Cam Neely ready to return. And for the face-off, he's there. Carpenter, Neely, Janney. Wesley and Fork, and the face-off is to the right of Roy. 6 shots Boston, 2 for Montreal, despite 2 Montreal power plays.
And I'll tell you, 2 great saves by Andy Moog.
They were labeled, 1 by Carbonneau and 1 by Peterson. Janney for Bork. Bork holding. In deep for Wesley. Bork 1 times it. And it's blocked. Goes to the corner. Carpenter there. Check. Neely gets it back to Wesley. Wesley along the line for Bork. Bork now to Janney. Familiar spot. Holding. Waiting. Looking for Wesley closing. Gives it to Neely. 1-timer. Blocked. And blocked by Carbonneau.
That pass just moved Carbonneau off nearly enough.
Carpenter trying to chop it in, lost it. Canadian down, penalty on Carpenter. High sticking, Bob Carpenter. That nullifies the power play. 1-0 Boston.
Well, the Red Sox are back in action tomorrow afternoon at 1 when they take on the defending world champs, the Oakland Athletics at Fenway Park. It's live coverage of the Sox battle. Jose Canseco, Ricky Henderson, and all your favorite Oakland stars. Bob Kurtz gets it going with Red Sox Digest at 12:30. Then at 1, the Red Sox take on the A's live on NESN. Right now we understand the Sox leading the A's 1-0 on a Greenwell homer. All righty, fans on the shot. Yeah. There's a high stick.
Chelios is off the bench doing this yapping. Montreal was a man short.
And we have 1:19 left on the penalty to Desjardins that affected the Boston power play. This one right in. And a
nice
good stop.
Pat Burns was up right on there as Carpenter dumped Chelios. Burns, I thought, was going to leap over the dasher.
That is interference.
Yeah, it is. He was right.
That itself is interference. Chelios was en route to the puck. Hadn't touched it.
Of course, in defense of Carpenter, getting that stick up like that, he was expecting the stuff that's been going on the whole series long. Somebody coming in high on him. Denny Morrell's really got a tough one to call tonight.
Each team short a man now in a very rough, chippy game. Game number 5 of the series. Prop is on with Poulin. Don Sweeney, who's closing. Near the net. Couldn't get the stick on it to redirect it. And at center ice, covered by Bourque. Bourque checked on the play and knocked down the man. Lemieux. That's in retaliation for Lemieux's good check on him on the other game. Lemieux is after him here. Over the line comes Poulin. Poulin holding. Back for Don Sweeney. His pass up blocked. And the Bruins can't keep it in. Galley is on now. Over to Don Sweeney. Each team short a man. In 38 seconds, it will be Montreal on their third power play. It will last for 41 seconds. Schneider out there, the young man from Woonsocket, rushes smartly over the line. Drops it for Smith. He's broken up. Lemieux broken up. Bruins break. Possible 2-on-1. Neely going with Christian. Unloads, and it is deflected high. As he went for the shot, Canadians coming back. Trying to make the play to Smith. Smith checked by Wesley. Checked by Christian. Able to keep it in, and it bounces for Christian. Wesley. Neely avoids a hit. Oh! Chelios will line it up. In alone, Christian. Save, Roy. Christian walked in alone, set up by Neely. Would have been another shorthanded goal for Boston. Back comes Montreal power play. Svoboda. Weaving. Broken up at the line by Peterson. Bruins regroup. Change up. The Canadians put new people on. 18 seconds on the power play. And good forechecking deep by Burridge. Chelios. Away to Svoboda. Now to Peterson. Shot, save, right pad by Andy Moog. Third shot by Montreal. Bruins clear. The penalty is up to Carpenter. Boston at full strength. 4:40 left, first period, 1-0 Boston. A shorthanded goal by Burridge, and Christian almost had one with a clean break-in. Canadians keep it in. LeBeau broken up by Don Sweeney. And the puck cleared out. Will be icing. No, going to prevent it is Bob Sweeney. Hustles and Roy forced to play it. Bruins try to keep it in. The Canadians break. 3-on-2. LeBeau with Peterson. Gets it off now to Courtnall. Back in front. Lock. And the Bruins break it back. Poulin coming with Bob Sweeney. Poulin over the line. Lost it on his dribble. Puck cleared out. Galley bangs it back in. 4 minutes left. First period. 1-0 Boston. Schneider hit deep and lost his helmet as Carter hit him. Puck rolls to Bourque at the Boston line. Up the middle to Sweeney. Tipped in wide. Carter trying to get it. Hit to the corner. Schneider starts it out. Long pass out, deflects to Raymond Bourque, and he clears it away. Up to Byers. Byers flipping in. He's on with Carpenter and Carter. Schneider still without the helmet after that Carter hit. Canadians break it out. All alone, Carbonneau in alone. Save! Andy Moog on Carbonneau. Broke in alone. Andy Moog, and the fans yell. Bourque trying to clear it out. Stopped by Walter. Kept in again. A backhander deflected into the stands. Andy Moog, what a save on Carbonneau as he walked in alone. With Boston leading 1-0 first period. We're at the Garden on NESN.
I want to congratulate the Massachusetts women's select hockey team. The team won the Dusseldorf International Hockey Tournament, picked up the Sportsmanship Award, and then went on to be the first U.S. team ever to play in East Berlin, Germany. Our hats off to them.
Right here, Wesley gets to bother Carver. That's a little stutter that he really would just as soon go through that play without. He never got it up. Andy Moog waited. Right leg save. Committed completely to the first shot.
The Canadians with 4 shots, and 3 of them have been labeled. Only 4 shots in the period, but how deceptive that can be. Bruins with 7, and they lead 1-0. 3 minutes left. Bruins forecheck. Out the Canadians started out. On the right wing side. The drive in wide by Keane. Galley trying to come out. Christian with it. Off of Peterson. The clear in. All the way to Rawat. Svoboda winding up. Burridge, Poulin, Christian the line. Bruins back off 3 abreast. Now challenge him, and that looked offside. Knocked down is Galley. Moog clearing it up and out for Christian. 2-on-2 with Poulin. Over the line, Poulin. Cutting. Puts it in front. Kicked by Christian, but stayed wide as he was checked by Ludwig. Back come the Canadians with a threat. Portnall. Broken up. At the line was Gilchrist by Bourque. He foiled out at the line. 1-0 Boston. 2 minutes left. First period. Prop to Christian. Pass out stops. The Canadians started. Christian's had a clean break-in. And Carbonneau's had a clean break-in. And the goaltending terrific. This should be icing. Moog with the signal. 1:47 left here in the first period. Joe Lyons, the New England scout of the Boston Bruins, annually conducts the Elite Pro Hockey School, Quincy Youth Arena. It's going to take place on May 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. As this one missed by Christian.
Right there,
just
Christian's
right there.
trying to get to it. Doesn't know whether he could get through Ludwig's feet or try to take it wide. Opts to go through his feet. Catch the leg. Now, Ray Bourque knows his drop pass is coming up. Goes for the poke check. Gilchrist just never got the line.
Joe Lyons Pro Elite Hockey School Draft 90 tournament schedule. Great prospects. The draw back to Wesley, to Galley. Fed in. Neely forechecking. Hard hit on Chelios. Pass in front. Janney back for Wesley. Screen shot in wide. Deflection. Chelios takes a hit again as Keane gets the 2-on-1. Off for Walter. Shot. Right pass save. Puck kept in by Keane. Fires wide. In the corner. Wesley trying to check it. Carbonneau there. Janney trying to check it. Bruins. Janney gets it to Prop. Prop starts it out. Fails to connect with Neely, though, and the Canadians can't get it back. In the center ice. Goes to Janney. Janney over the line with Neely. Looking for Neely. Now tries to drop it. He's broken up. And here comes Walter with a minute left. Long shot. Wants a change. Saved by Moog, and the shot outside the line, and Bourque is back. Center ice. Bourque over the line. Still going along the line. The Bruins changing up, and he's looking for some people, and he gets Gould, who fans on the shot. And the Canadians break it out. A lead on the right for Portnall, and a shot and a save by Moog. Short side. Fighting for it, Peterson, and Bourque takes over. Clearing it out. Back is Dufresne. This could be icing on Montreal. 27 seconds left in this, the first period, and the Canadians are up to 7 shots now, equal with Boston. The face-off in the Canadian zone. Randy Burridge has the only score.
Right here, Ray Bourque. The problem is, got a line change. Everybody leaves. Ray Bourque across the blue line looking for somebody in a white shirt. Down around the corner, lays it deep in the slot. Bobby Gould 1-to-1 time it. Just gets tipped by Al Peterson prior to the shot.
Trying to keep cool here. Raymond Bourque. 1 assist. Beside Bobby Orr. All-time playoff assist leader. The only goal by Burridge. Short-handed from Poulin and Don Sweeney.
Andy Moog's got Portnall on line here. Portnall out for the shot. Left leg, I got it. What we've lost in the far end of the building was a contact.
Alan Peterson's contact lens, and maybe he has it now. Certainly would have some reserves anyway.
Yeah, well, you would certainly hope so.
Mike Milbury behind the Boston bench. 1-0 Boston. Shots even 7 apiece. First period, 27 seconds left. And Carpenter, Gould, Carter with Wesley and Galley. Carbonneau and Carpenter. Ball start. Now Face-off to Dufresne. He's on defense with Schneider. Down to 20 seconds. Dufresne. A pass up, blocked at the line. Over the line, the Bruins check it. And back comes Gould. 12 seconds left. Gould works it over the line, is taken down on the play. 7 seconds left. The Bruins fight for it. Almost broke it up inside the line, but the Canadians' Carbonell gets it out. And that's it. A shorthanded goal by Randy Burridge. As each team had 3 power play opportunities, failed to score on them, but Burridge scored shorthanded. 1-0 Boston. End of the first period. Intermission highlights in a moment.
It'll be a factor in the end, but right now both clubs skating pretty hard and holding up pretty well.
Yeah, the emotion is there. The heat won't be a factor. If they're, I mean, you're emotionally peaked. You'll be beat tomorrow. That's when you'll be tired. I mean, if it's close, the emotion's there. A few late plays in the game. But Jill Burridge wants us to say hello from Brittany to Grammy back home. The new baby. The
Randy Burridge?
The Burridge family, sure. Everybody back in Fort Erie. We haven't mentioned them in a long time.
I'm sure that shorthanded goal was
Ray Bork.
sent down.
First period, outstanding period. Waits in the feet. Poke check, takes his man. Now he's got, he plants both feet and gives Lemieux a little pop.
Underway, second period, 1-0 Boston. Chelios fires it in. Oh, smothers it off the backboards as Ray Bork was going for it.
Well, why you smother it there is so Scrutlin on Bork's right on his back. Saves him that we're checking to Causeway Street. You don't need that. So we'll just smother it and go to the next faceoff.
There's a wanted man.
Yes.
By about 20 guys in white and another 15,000 here in the Garden.
Cam nearly roped him twice. That isn't over yet.
Scrudlin, Gilchrist, Lemieux, the line. Burridge trying to get right out to the point man, and Gilchrist ready to block him. So, Christian on the draw with Scrudlin. One for the Canadians for a shot that deflects into the stands. As Lemieux got a piece of it for the shot, deflected, and a face-off call. Again, Chelios is back at the right point. Ludwig at the left. Gilchrist, of course, trying to prevent Burridge from coming out and foiling the point man who would get it. If Scudlin can get it to him. This time he doesn't. Ray Bork. Up and out with Poulin's help. Boy, that Ludwig goes high, Adam.
It does. Every check is high.
Everything is high. He was high on Poulin that time. In the center ice, Bork with it. For Poulin, tapped in the Canadian zone. Ludwig out of Chelios. They say onside. Backfoot goes Galley and Wesley around the boards. The Canadians able to keep it in. Lemieux moving it. Gilchrist check. A shot by Lemieux. Went wide. Chelios puts it in. All the way across for Lemieux. The Bruins hemmed in here. For Gilchrist. Shot. Blocked wide by Andy Moog. Real threat. Finally, Galley relieves the pressure. Heavy pressure there, and a great chance for Gilchrist. Back comes Burridge. In alone. Save. Christian walked in alone. And again, the second time in the game. It's been stopped by Roy. Big chance for Dave Christian. And a jam up and a penalty on Boston. At least Boston.
Oh, they should be both goals.
No.
Roughing Peterson.
There was a second. There was no penalty on the original confrontation, and then Al Peterson, Lemieux faked a follow-up punch. Al reacted to it, which is, I think, a pretty normal reaction. And now he holding the stick. Now he comes back. There's the fake. No, too late, Al.
Well, composure lost.
First power play for Montreal in the second period. They had 3 in the first. And 1 backfired with the Burridge goal, the only score of the game.
Give credit to Claude Lemieux to
Randy Burridge, a great play in here to Dave Christian. Got it. Now he's going to go back. Just doesn't get the wood on it he wanted. Gets that up, it's in.
Chelios really tested Andy Moog, and watch Claude Lemieux on the rebound of this shot. We won't see it.
On the faceoff, Galley clears it. It is the 4th power play of the game for Montreal. Each team with a shot in the second period. Opening minutes of the second period. Galley and Bork are on. Prop keeps it in. And now Courtnall gets the loose puck. Poulin and Prop, Bork and Galley. LeBeau starts it away. Handed it right to Dave Poulin.
Not his best pass.
And Poulin cleared it. Svoboda right back. With Corson. Blocked by Ray Bork. Shovels it to center ice. Over the line comes Prop. Prop for Poulin in. Backhanders. Over the net and into the stands. And what a chance. Boston, Roy got a piece of it to knock it in. Short-handed bid again by the Bruins. Prop to Poulin.
It's just good hustle. Brian Prop pokes it ahead. Slides it through. There's the key to the play. Just out a little high. Patrick Roy gets an arm on it. Knocks it into the stands. Poulin thinking right. Wants to get it up around the crossbar.
Dave Poulin, up close and personal. What an acquisition by Harry Simmons.
No doubt about that.
1:16 left on the Canadian power play, and the faceoff in the Canadian end since Roy deflected that backhander by Poulin into the stands. Carpenter and Carter now for Boston. Wesley and Galley. Chelios winding up. He's on with Desjardins. Starts it away with LeBeau. The drive in. Moe blocked it. Cleared it up the boards. Not out. Chelios able to keep it in with LeBeau. Fed in wide. Moe tips it around for Wesley. Wesley up the boards. Carpenter able to clear it out. Power breaks it up. Steals coming on Chelios. Cuts in for a shot and a save. Another shot and a save by Roy. 2 bids for a shorthanded goal by John Carter. 40 seconds left on the Canadiens' power play. LeBeau able to keep it in. Pass right across for Desjardins. He missed on the shot. Courtnall with it. Courtnall in the Carbonneau. Can't get it in front. Kept in now by LeBeau. LeBeau it is with Courtnall. Bruins check it. Goes back for Chelios. Chelios into LeBeau. LeBeau in the power play. Cross. Desjardins right in front. Stop on Courtnall by Moe. Pass in front. Rolls back near the line. Kept in. 8 seconds left on the power play. Chelios closing. Moves it in front. Blocked by Wesley, who went down. And the Bruins clear it. Andy Moe tremendous in there. Bruins outshot the Canadiens in the power play with a couple of short-handed bids. Now back comes Chelios and Lemieux. Shot and a save short side by Andy Moe. Chelios is in deep. Puts it in front near the net. Behind the net. Wrapped around by Galley and out. Dufresne checked by Prop. Broken up. Bruins breaking in Neely for Prop. He's taken down. A tripping call on the Canadiens as the Bruins again were closing for a superb chance. Prop taken down. Power play Boston. 1-0 the Bruins. The second period on NESN at the Garden.
Here's Donald Dufresne, who was forced to drag down Brian Prop. Cam Neely was setting up Prop.
Good hustle here by Prop. Followed his man along the line, then took the body. Neely goes in for the steal. Quick. It just hit the back of Brian Prop's skate. There's the trip. Janney couldn't get to the rebound. That's a good play by Dufresne. He had to take Prop down there.
Face-off now to the left of Rawat. Neely out there with Prop and Janney.
Canadians moved this pretty well. They're in a key spot right there.
Schneider able to clear it after the face-off in the Canadian end. Ray Bork is out with Galley at the points. Janney, Neely, Prop. Bork. The clear in. Back first is Schneider again. And he's able to clear it out for Carbonneau to Keane. Keane gets it to Carbonneau. Shot high and a save. Knocked wide by Andy Moe. Good bid by Carbonneau again. Janney is back. Over the line, holding. Drops it for Galley. Cross for Bork. Back too far ahead of Galley. And cleared away by Keane. 1:15 Boston power play. Change up by Mike Milbury. Galley gains the line. Wraps it in. Janney stays out there. To Neely. Neely. Check. Broken up. Has to go center ice and start the play again. Of all their power plays, this is the weakest by Boston.
Well, they just saw 3 great opportunities by their own teammates on the Montreal power play. A little tentative.
Bourque hammers it in. 45 seconds left. Neely wraps it in deep. Burridge behind the net. Broken up. And the Canadians, Skrudland skates it out. Cleared down by Walter. Janney coming back quickly. Now to Wesley. Wesley away from Bourque. Good forechecking by Carbonneau. Wesley 20 seconds on the power play. Fires. Saved by Roy. Offside, says Kevin Collins. And 16 seconds left on the Boston power play. 14:32 left here in the second period. Shots even 11 apiece. And 1-0 Boston.
Well, you know, we've talked about the Bruins and what a great job they've done killing penalties here in the playoffs. Here in this series, Montreal came in to this game having killed off 17 of 20. And so far tonight, they've killed off how many? 4? Is this the 4th?
Montreal got a great penalty killing unit. They don't panic with the puck. The Bruins, they survived 2 of their own power plays. So
Pat didn't look like he was having a lot of fun just yet.
1-0 Boston. A Burridge shorthanded goal in the first period. Chelios clears. Bob Beers' first appearance of the night out there with Galley. Second appearance of the night, Derek reminds me. Beers, Burridge. Looking for Christian, broken up. Canadians are at full strength. Dufresne is out. Rushing Carbonneau. Burridge takes a man offside. It's Keane. And Carbonneau wandering around. Broken up. Over the line, Christian. A penalty on Poulin.
A little late with the arm going up, but good call. That was a good grab.
Poulin out for holding. 1-0 Boston. Second period on NESN at the Garden.
Dave Poulin almost gets the puck there. Now there's the left hand. The leg knocked him down. Get that left hand off, though. He just didn't want him to go to the puck. Carbonneau wisely went down. A little late on the whistle, Morel, but...
For the Canadians, their 5th power play. 1-0 Boston. 13:57 left here in the second period. Svoboda is on with Chelios. Lemieux. Peterson, the rookie at left wing with Smith. Smith the clear in. Ray Bourque back first. Hammers it. Chelios kept it in. Pass in deep. Lemieux for Smith. Smith. Now to Peterson behind the net. Drops it back. Svoboda. Chelios. Screen shot deflected wide. Cleared by Carpenter off the corner. Canadians winding up again. Bourque is out with Peterson, Carter, and Carpenter. Bourque breaks it up at the Boston line. Tried to send Carter away. Couldn't do it. And it's kept in by Smith with Lemieux closing. Back for Lemieux. The shot missed. And he was wide, not wide open. A Bruin in between, but he was 20 feet away. Svoboda closing. Back for Chelios. Drills it and misses the net. Smith keeps it in. Back for Chelios again. To Svoboda. Back for Chelios. Kept it in. Up for Lemieux. Lemieux checked by Peterson. Puck popped in the air to Moog, and he ties it up.
Well, a couple of those shots never did get to Andy Moog. The last one from the point.
Well, what you've got here is a bit of an open net. Whether this hit Peterson's glove or not, might have. Peterson could have made this save on that. Now watch this. This is Andy Moog's left knee is going to be off the post if you can see it. Probably not from this angle, but it flutters up. And it goes right into his glove.
LeBeau is out there with Corson. Courtnall, Desjardins with it. Cuts away from Christian, puts it right in front. Save Andy Moog on the backhander. Cutting in front was Courtnall, and what a stop there. 45 seconds left on the Canadian power play.
You could have heard a pin drop in this place while Andy Moog was looking for that puck.
Nice play right here. Now you got LeBeau coming off, goes backhand 5-hole. Andy Moog shuts it off, but he got it with his knees. He didn't realize it. Oh, there we go. I got it.
Nice camera work, guys.
LeBeau, Corson, Courtnall. The draw to Desjardins. Into Courtnall. Knocked outside the line, driven back in. That's a deliberate offside. Should be down on the Canadian end.
They're not going to call it.
Well, it was quite obvious Desjardins knew that it was not in, not on the line. Kevin Collins knows he knew it too.
38 seconds left. Faceoff is outside the Boston line. 12:37 left in the second period. Christian out. Burridge, Galley, Don Sweeney. Schneider works it in, but offside. The Bruins intercept, break it out. Christian again with a bid. The shot just deflected into the stands as Desjardins got a piece of it. Dave Christian has had 2 clean break-ins. There have been other chances for Boston. At the other end, Carbonneau denied by Moog.
Pawtucket Red Sox baseball continues on NESN Saturday, May 5th at 7 p.m. when the Paw Sox take on the Columbus Clippers. That's the AAA club of the New York Yankees. That's the Paw Sox versus Columbus. Saturday, May 5th at 7 p.m. live on NESN.
Dave Christian had no speed going for him there. Tried to wait for the puck to tee one up. Desjardins quickly got the stick on it.
27 seconds left on the Montreal power play. It is their 5th. The Bruins have had 4. Christian and Burridge stay out there. Christian wins it. Don Sweeney holds, now fires, deflected by Christian, but high. A bid for another short-handed goal. Christian steals inside the line, trying to put it across. In front, can't do it. Breaks up the play on LeBeau. Dave Christian all over the Canadians then, and almost deflected one. It went high on the Don Sweeney shot. Chelios back to clear in. Penalty almost up. LeBeau keeps it in, takes a hit. Don Sweeney gets it free, can't clear it though. Bruins get the man back. Fire it around. All the way to the Canadian end. It will be icing. Hoggard hustle. All the way down near Chelios. Gave him a little, just got a little piece of him after the whistle.
That's interference. I don't know if anyone else saw that.
And Hoggard pushing Courtnall. Let's see what comes out of this. 1-0 Boston. Second period on NESN at the Garden.
Well, Greg Hoggard and Russ Courtnall will be going after waltzing around with each other. Watch Roy stick out his glove and get it up in the face of Hoggard just to slow him down a little bit. And another eye rake from
Then
Chelios.
the elbow in the face. Morrell lets both go.
Face-off in the Boston end now. Teams are at full strength, matching penalties. Courtnall and Hoggard. The only goal by Randy Burridge in the first period, short-handed on one of the 5 Canadian power plays, set up by Poulin and Don Sweeney. As we look at Pat Burns.
Seeing Russ Courtnall in the box reminded me that this morning in practice, the Canadiens are willing to dip into the bag and try anything. Courtnall came out using Lemieux's jersey. Lemieux wore Courtnall's. They did that once before back in Game 5 against Buffalo, just for a little luck, and they ended up going out to the odd that night and winning the hockey game. So they figured, well, we're 1-0 with it. Let's try it again.
Bobby Smith just handed Kevin Collins a bottle of water. Linesmen aren't messengers, boy. Patrick Roy wanted a drink.
Bob Beers is on defense. And Milbury going to the bench in a warm evening. Beers checked by Skrudland. The puck goes to center ice. Knocked over the line by Gilchrist. Backward Wesley. Wesley on defense with Beers. Up front, Gould, Poulin, Bob Sweeney. Long lead for Bob Sweeney. Well offside on that one.
That's a good try.
1-0 Boston. Second period on NESN.
Degrees. Wow.
Skrudland and Poulin. To Gould. Can't move it out. Skrudland kept it in. Shot hit blocked on Lemieux. Blocked by Bob Beers. Well, the Bruins had control of that. Now they're hemmed in. Up the boards, Gould trying to chop it out. Check. Poulin battles. Puck goes, not out yet, just out of the zone. Canadians regroup. Schneider with it. Fine offensive defenseman. Rookie, 20 years old, out of Woonsocket. Dufresne wraps it in. Around the boards, Lemieux going. And the Canadian Scudlin with it. For Schneider, shot. Deflected over the net. Up the boards and out. Bruins unable to break. Bob Sweeney was stopped by Dufresne. Roy out of the net. To Dufresne. Long clear. Icing possible. And Ray Bourque back. 10:29 left. The face-off in the Canadian end. 13 shots Montreal, 11 for Boston. The shots were even 7 apiece after the first period of play. The Canadians with 5 power play opportunities, 1 backfiring for the lone goal of the game by Randy Burridge.
Bear's a rookie that continues to look more and more like a veteran as each game goes by. Nice defense in the Boston end.
Well, the hockey doesn't get any tougher than right here in the Stanley Cup. Days waits his man, sees the pass, and goes down in time.
You know, with the heat in here tonight and all the people, I expected this to be a little foggier in here.
The draw, Chelios for Keane. Hit by Peterson in deep. Peterson battling with Keane in the corner. Chelios there now. Prop. Neely. Peterson still. Prop puts it in front. Neely gets it off now to Peterson. Back to Janney covering at the point. The clear in. Prop to Neely behind the net. Neely off in the corner. Checked on the play. Battling Ludwig. And Walter gets it out. Now to Carbonell with Keane. Over the line to Keane. Keane in deep. Check. Taken to the backboards. Fought for there. Dug out for Neely. Neely trying to come out. It's back around the other side. It is Chelios keeping it in. Clears it in deep for Carbonell. Carbonell trying to put it in front. Checked his Keane. Hit by Peterson. Neely gets it. Bruins break. Off for Bourque. Bourque stopped by Carbonell. Now the Bruins forced to clear it out onto the Montreal bench to the player. Bounce back. Face-off will be inside the Boston line. 9:29 left here in the second period. 1-0 Boston. Dave Shea, NHL update.
Well, it's 1-0 here, and it's 1-0 down in Madison Square with the Washington Capitals leading in the second period. The goal scored in the first early at 3:16. Miller from Tucker and Langway. Of course, a victory tonight by the Caps will wrap up that series and send Washington on to play the winner of this series. This update brought to you by Budweiser.
Face-off just inside the Boston line. Randy Burridge, the only scorer of the game. LeBeau is out there at center. Corson left wing, Courtnall right wing with Svoboda and Desjardins. Carpenter on the face-off. Galley, Don Sweeney on defense. Puck bounces in the Boston zone. Bruins trying to clear it. It's gloved out by Galley. Svoboda to LeBeau. He's checked immediately by Gould, but gets it again now. He's over the line. Stopped by Don Sweeney. The puck kept in by Desjardins. Pokes it in deep. Carter there trying to clear it. Does. Out. Bruins a little bit back on their heels here with a 1-0 lead. Svoboda winding up now. Gould, Carpenter, and Carter. Breaking Desjardins. Long shot. Into the back of the net. The faceoff will be outside the line. Mo gives the signal, and not always can the referee see that it's there. As we look at Bob Gould, picked up from the Washington Capitals, and he has been an integral part of the team. Marvelous defensive player, some key goals along the way. And when you're leading 1-0, you like to see Bob Gould out there.
And I think that the Bruins aren't back on their heels. They're not choosing to forecheck. They're choosing to pick up the Canadians at their blue line, force the defense to carry the puck. It is also a tiring tactic.
LeBeau stays out there against Carpenter. It's off by Don Sweeney. Tough to control that puck. You can see it bouncing at times now. There it's spinning. Gould trying to clear it out. Broken up by LeBeau. He breaks up LeBeau. Gets it to Carpenter. Carpenter a clear in. And the Bruins forecheck. In deep. Keane trying trying to clear it out. Bruins keep it in to Carter. Carter with Gould heading for the net. Carter spins back. Back for the point to Don Sweeney. In the Carpenter. Centers. Blocked. Loose. And here's Carpenter firing into a screen. Blocked by Roy. He knocks down Svoboda. Galley has moved in. Puts it in front. Shot. Save Roy. And the Bruins did everything but score. Carpenter. Carter. As Carter is mauled for barreling into Roy. Marvelous offensive spurt by the Bruins there, but they failed to get a goal.
Yeah, good pressure on Patrick Roy. He stood his ground and came up with a couple of big stops.
Once again, down low. He pans those legs. He's got great legs. I know you're trying to find a hole. Bouncing puck, no one at this point is going to be looking for, but Bobby Carpenter gets it in front. It pops up to him. The Canadians once again converge on front of the net. Tried upstairs there. Roy almost had the body off the post. It's Carter on the back.
That's smartest. He went
Bobby
right back
Carpenter
down.
hits his man, gets poked in front, he stops it. There's Roy. Down once again. Now Carter's got nowhere else to go but over Roy.
Well, I beg to differ, partner, but I think John probably could have avoided doing a forward roll.
Now, once you lose your balance on your leg, it's a matter of just hitting your foot on the pad.
That looked an awful lot like Corset falling over Moog.
Well, he tried to grab the crossbar. That's what tried to keep his balance. When you're going to flurry around the net, you're not really looking to end the play by knocking the net off its mooring.
Well, I don't blame him. I wouldn't avoid Roy either. What the heck? Our goaltender's been used as a trampoline enough during this series. Why not return the favor? No harm.
8:13 left, second period, 1-0 Boston. A shorthanded goal by Randy Burridge. Neely taking the face-off. He's out with Propp and Janney. Gary Galley and Don Sweeney.
And
timeout for Roy.
An equipment repair. The toe strap has come undone.
It's been an interesting crowd. It's the first crowd I can remember here booing the Canadian national anthem. Yeah, it's a nasty crowd.
Puck one on the faceoff for Dufresne. Up to Lemieux. He's out with Smith. Lets it go. Deflected over the head of Moog. Bruins started out. Trying to get the loose puck. Can't do it.
Neely is down. High stick called.
High stick on
Lemieux.
Neely behind the play. Lemieux is going out. 1-0 Boston. Second period on NESN at the Garden.
Well, while we were gone, we were watching Claude Lemieux yelling, you call that one based on the crowd.
Neely makes the play. Lemieux then goes up on him, and Neely bumps off Neely's body.
Shoulder.
A little back flip.
Fifth power play for Boston. 1-0 for the Bruins. We're in the second period. 7:53. That's Ray Bourque. Not a good power play the last time for Boston. Ray Bourque starts it out. Neely, Janney, Propp. And Chelios breaks it up. Janney with it. Bourque again. Now to Wesley. Wesley flips it in. Hustles in. Gets it. Holds. Now behind the net. Propp. Back for Bourque. Bourque over to Wesley. In Janney. To Propp, and he missed it. Cutting toward the net. Net dislodged.
Janney wants a call. That was Roy did that with Janney behind the net. He acting like he's innocent. Janney wants to know that's a patent play. Now you got Janney behind the net. Roy knows he can't be picked up by a defenseman. Nice little stumble.
It's a 2-minute penalty for
no, but if the
goaltender
defenseman pulled it off.
Pete Peters used to be a master at that.
Watch Ludwig. It's by him, so he says, let's just take the net off the mooring. That is a penalty.
Now, that was Ludwig that grabbed it and moved it. Peters, with his tall frame, used to get his back right up underneath the crossbar. First sign of trouble, stand up. We've mentioned it to you before. You're looking at Craig Ludwig. He wears those extra wide shin pads to try to give him a little added advantage with trying to block shots.
Christian out there, but the Canadians win the draw. Chelios can't clear it out. Kept in by Neely. Pass up, block. Along the line, it is the Canadians getting it. Ludwig. And he fires it in the Boston end. Bounces off for Keane. Keane is shot. Blocked by Moog. Might have been off the net. Wesley starts it out. All the way to Janney. Janney picking up Neely. Neely over the line, in close, in front. Pop couldn't get it. Had he gotten it, the net was empty on that side. Wesley keeps it in to Janney. Janney watched by Keene. Now to Wesley. Closing. To Bork, who's way up. Back to Wesley, the lone point man. Screen shot, high block. Deflected over the net. Janney again. Now to Wesley again. Wesley, a lot of players in front of him. Off for Janney. Janney all the way to Bork. Quick shot off the side of the net. Might have been blocked by Roy. Pop digging it out. Trying to make the play. Janney with it. 20 seconds on the power play. Janney holding. Keene on him. Wesley. Shot. Blocked wide by Roy. Janney on it again. 9 seconds. Janney battling Keene. Puck knocked to center ice. Canadians will be back at full strength now. Bork realizes that. Drops it in wide. Good power play for Boston. But they fail to score. Could be icing. Galley back. Icing. Lemieux says wants some call on Andy Moe.
Well, what Claude should be upset with is the way that puck carried off the end boards, because had that bounced through, he would have had it.
He's saying Moe touched it. Here's Bork's shot. Almost hit the post. But what Lemieux is complaining about is that it took a funny care, and he thought maybe Moe had touched it. Not so.
Well, the Bruins changed that power play. Wesley was the lone point man, and Bork moved up. And he handled that pass across from Janney. Had to be a hard one through a screen of players and a quick shot. But the great opportunity was Prop. Couldn't handle that quick pass out. The draw. Back. Beers. Shot and a save. Rebound. Save. Shot by Poland. 3 shots in a row for Boston. And Roy handled them all. And a jam up in deep. Great opportunity for the Bruins. Started with a Bob Beers shot from the blue line.
Dave Poulin's complaining about a slash in the neck. When uncalled. Great hustle. Good rebound coverage.
He's bleeding. Poulin's bleeding from the right ear, I believe, Derek.
Right here's a flutter shot. Ruud, great save that was.
Right there. Chelios just speared Poulin in the side of the head, the right side of the head, and cut him on the ear.
Dennis Morel missed that one, too.
5:37 left in the second period. The Bruins up to 17 shots now to 13 for Montreal. The Bruins have had several chances in the last 2 shifts. Power play helped one. In deep, Poulin puts it in front. And Burridge cutting for the net, couldn't get it. The Canadians break it out 3-on-2. Lemieux over the line. Peterson, the shot is wide. The rebound is Poulin. Out to center ice. Flips it over the line. Follow up by Burridge. Keeps it in. Burridge going deep. Trying to make the play across. It is blocked. And the Canadians, Peterson breaks it up. Or rather, Dufresne clears it in deep. Moog out of the net. Spills. Puck behind the net. Canadians try to jam it in front. Bruins able to pile, and a huge pile of players to tie it up as Montreal came close.
Bob Beers wanted Claude Lemieux in a special way. While they untangle all the bodies, let's tell you that we'd like you to tune in Sunday night at 7 for a Big East baseball doubleheader where the Providence College Friars travel to meet the Huskies of UConn in a battle with playoff implications. That's PC at UConn Sunday night at 7, only on NESN. Well, Brian Strudlin is an unhappy camper, and then Randy Burridge, I think, equally as unhappy.
Well, the Bruins starting with their 5th power play and continuing through the next shift. Put plenty of heat on Roy and had plenty of chances that turned aside, so that Boston now has 10 shots in the period. The Canadians 6.
Here's the flurry. Mo gets out. It doesn't bounce off the backboards like he expected it to. He gets up from out of that little melee. There's some poke checking defense by both Bork and Christian.
See Strudlin try to shield Moog away from getting back into the crease. Almost worked.
Face off in the Boston zone. 4:57 left. Strudlin On the Montreal bench, Andy Moog getting set. The only goal of the game, Randy Burridge in the first period. On a backhander, short-handed, set up by Poulin and Don Sweeney. Corson, Courtnall on the wings. Schneider, Dufresne on defense. Carpenter on the faceoff with DeBow. One for Dufresne. Shot blocked. Bruins trying to clear. Schneider kept it in. Bates gives it off on the right for Courtnall. Trying to fire it. Blocked by Bork. Fed up the boards, and Gould starts it out. Gould able to clear it in the Montreal end. Carter trying to move in. On Dufresne. Forces the pass back to Schneider. Schneider to Courtnall. Pass up, blocked. Chopped away. Byers trying to get it. It deflects into the stands. Matthew Schneider looks like an excellent passing defenseman.
He is. Skates well.
Is that all you say?
He is. He skates well with the puck. The puck is always in position to be moved. He doesn't, he doesn't have it in front of him where he goes left to right with the stick. He has it back in position, shovels it forward, waits to move it quickly. If you're on him, he'll move it.
Face off in the neutral zone. LeBeau, Courtnall, Corson, Carpenter, Ray Bork, and Don Sweeney. Lyndon Byers is at right wing on this line. Dufresne clears it in. Bork there. Up the boards. Byers, Carpenter. Carpenter trying to break over the line. Moving for a shot. Blocked by Roy. Popped in the air. He hangs on as Carpenter took the hit there, and his Byers ready to go. It's Matthew Schneider or Dufresne or both.
Or Corson. Corson and Linden have been kind of having eyes for each other all night. They were jousting on the faceoff at the start of that play.
Bobby Carpenter getting hampered all the way, left stick, right stick. He ignores all the traffic. Tries to get the shot away. Roy wanted to get that blocker and bang that well out, not up in the air like he did.
Byers and Corson out. That's a good play by Lyndon Byers as he takes Shane Corson out. And 4:08 left in the second period. Boston now with 11 shots in the second period on that last bid by Bob Carpenter. Mike Melbury looks cool on a warm night. 1-0 lead Boston, second period.
He's one of the few that could pull it off.
Byers
pays to be close to the ice.
Lyndon Byers. A lot of penalties, a lot of injuries. A lot of talent.
A lot of talent. And Lyndon Byers, tough breaks with injuries at timely periods. This one he was really starting to pump them good.
Carpenter, Carter, Bob Sweeney with Ray Bork and Don Sweeney. Skrudland.
They're going to try to play to Courtnall, I believe, somewhere. He's just going to dash.
Goes to the boards. Bob Sweeney got to get a handle to it. Finally Carter does. Carter wheeling, moving all the time. Drops it back up. Bob Sweeney able to keep it in. Puts it to Carter. Carter trying to stick handle in. It's blocked, goes wide. He's taken down behind the net. Carpenter with it. Don Sweeney tried to move in. Couldn't do it. The Canadians break it out. Courtnall 3-on-2 with Skrudland. Drops it back. Gilchrist shot, a save by Andy Moog as the Canadians made it pay off with a good scoring bid. Bruins to center ice. Pass to Bob Sweeney is offside. Brent Gilchrist with the shot. Andy Moog holding the short side. Don Sweeney gambled to get that return pass on the Canadian end.
Moog makes the save. See Skrudland coming through the crease. Skrudland pops him a shot.
Oh, he sure did. And he looked right at Denny Morel and said, hey, what do you say?
Then Skrudland goes for the dive, hoping for that. Figured he was going. At least maybe I could get us a matching call.
Well, I have not seen as much crease crashing as I've seen this season. Everywhere. I mean, the goaltenders have been just open game out there.
Well, what stopped that was the fighting. In the old days, you hit a goalkeeper and looked to the closest guy to you
Yeah,
was going to jump you and just pummel you. And if you did it to the old Bruins, you did it in Philadelphia or anywhere like that, you were in serious trouble. I mean, not one guy, 2, 3 guys would jump you and immediately you'd get hammered. But with the accent on taking fighting out of the game, that brings all the cheap shots back.
1-0 Boston, 3:30 left, second period. Ludwig drives it in. Around the boards. Peterson able to start it out. Pass to Janney. Janney collects over the line, nearly in. Stopped by Roy. Back comes Walter. Marvelous chance. Janney. Now to Neely. Shot here by Carbonneau and a save by Moe. Puck kept in by Chelios. Now to Keane. Behind the net block. Keane gets it again. Now behind the net. Bounces around the boards. Neely had the chance. Did he ever? On a setup from Janney. Prop back. Drops it off for Galley. A shot. A save by Roy. 2:48 left. Cam Neely right in. The Bruins have had some great chances too by Christian. And a penalty coming up. Let's see what Morel is calling here. Neely is involved.
Neely hit Chelios after he passed the puck.
Another power play for Montreal. This will be their 6th.
Cam Neely, just a little shove and a little cuff.
That was the
And
second one
Chelios
that did
falls
it.
down.
I've never. Oh, I'm sorry, Fred, go ahead.
A little frustration on Neely's part. Right here, Janney slides a pass through him. It's a bouncing puck. It just flips on him. He has to reach back. Therefore, he's going to only have 5-0 left, and Patrick Roy has taken that away all series.
The ice, of course, affected by the warm weather and a lot of bouncing pucks and not that gliding puck, but certainly a fine pass across by Janney to Neely. 1-0 Boston, and timeout for something thrown on the ice.
Charlie and Zibby from your Boston Bruins Bull gang out there.
Boy, the pass that I thought was the outstanding pass of the night was Neely with Janney-like hands sending Christian away in the first period. That was just a brilliant, brilliant pass. Hey, NESN has a great lineup of college baseball coming your way this weekend. The action starting tomorrow night at 10 as Southwest Conference rivals Arkansas and Texas hook up at Twinville. That one comes your way live from Austin. And Sunday at 1, it's live coverage of the battle between the defending national champion Wichita State Shockers and the Sycamores from Indiana State. That's all this weekend right here on NESN, your ticket to college baseball.
The shots in this period are 13 for Boston, 8 for Montreal. There have been several clean break-ins. Thinking about Carbonneau in the first period, but the Bruins have had more than 2 by Christian. 1 by Cam Neely you saw a moment ago.
Well, this break comes at a great time. It gives the penalty killers who've been working so hard tonight on such a warm evening a chance to catch a breather, get a drink. Ray Bork up on the dasher over by the Bruin bench.
Oh,
Go out there and go hard.
That might be the fan in the stands helping the Bruins, like somebody called on the charter flight from Montreal and canceled the Bruins. So the Bruins had to sit in the airport for 2.5 frustrating hours and wait for their charter flight to come. Imagine somebody calling in Montreal and doing that. I mean, it couldn't have been anybody affiliated with the Canadiens. Could not have been. Svoboda clears in. Moe blocks. Moe trying to clear. Blocked. Not in the net. Knocked down. Trying to get back up. Bruins fight for it. Ray Bork digs it free and clears it. A bruising night for Andy Moog again in the nets. He was taken down as Chelios flips it out. Smith made a good play to collect it. Over the line. In deep. Gives it to Lemieux. Lemieux trying to put it in front. Does. Block. Chelios moves in. Block. Bruins able to clear it. Ray Bork got the stick on it after a big block by Poulin. 1:15 left. Canadian power play. 1:54 left. Second period. Sixth power play for Montreal. The Bruins have had 5. Chelios flips it in. Ray Bourque on it. Up the boards. Burridge able to tip it out. Chelios was taken down in deep. There is a lot of interference goes on that one when the player tries to move in. And Bourque was protected there. Svoboda trying to break in. Knocked down on a stand-up check by Peterson. Bourque clears it. Alan Peterson has played an aggressive, tough game on the Boston defense. 35 seconds left on the Canadian power play. Courtnall winding up. Lot of speed. Flashing. Over the line. Trying to flip it. Gets it in. Pass in front. Blocked. Knocked wide. Wesley with it. Wesley up the boards on the dasher and not out. Kept in by Courtnall. He's broken up by Burridge. Cleared out. 12 seconds on the Canadian power play. Chelios. Good move. Over the line. Gets it off now for LeBeau. Shot blocked. Loose. Poked back and out by the Bruins. And the penalty up. Neely is out. 40 seconds left in the period. Rushing. Schneider all alone. In. The shot and a score by LeBeau. Schneider to LeBeau with 33 seconds left. And it's 1-1.
That was a miscue on defense. A line change by Montreal. Two guys curling. I believe it was Burridge and Neely.
The Bruins weren't organized after killing the penalty, and watch
Right
this
here,
rush
Galley
by
gets
Schneider.
picked. Now Schneider just coming clean. Now 3 Bruins converge on the puck carrier. Wesley dove, but Wesley did not get the sliding ice he thought he'd get. Ice too heavy. The body no momentum. Goes around. There's Galley getting picked off.
LeBeau gets his 3rd goal of the series with 33 seconds left. They didn't score on the power play, but the Bruins weren't organized after killing the penalty. And Schneider and LeBeau neither played in the first couple of games. And there is Stephen LeBeau, his 3rd goal. He had 2 the other night, and the game is tied at 1. The Bruins had killed off their 6th power play. Here's Poulin over the line. Shot, save, the rebound. Christian can't get it. Great rush by Poulin. Out comes Keane. 19 seconds left. Shot deflected by Peterson into the stands. Alan Peterson playing one of his finest games on defense. Aggressive, moving right to the players, and that time he deflected it. The goal at 19:27 by LeBeau from Schneider to tie the game at 1. And Poulin came right back with not a hard shot, but a scoring bid after the faceoff.
Right here, Dave Poulin waiting, looking to make the play. Opts for the shot. Roy makes the save. Christian's interfered with. He is not going to get back to this puck.
There have been some rebounds from saves by Patrick Roy. That one a pretty good one, but Christian was tied up before he could move in. 1-1 the score. LeBeau from Schneider. A couple of youngsters. Screen shot in. A save by Andy Moog as it was tipped by Carbonneau. As Chelios fired. 9 seconds left. The scoring bid there for the Canadians after they tie it up. Guy Carbonneau, a key man on faceoffs.
Right there, the little tip in. Moog's got it.
That was Keane, not Carbonneau, who got a piece of it. And the faceoff now with 9 seconds left to the left of Andy Moog. 23 shots for Boston, 18 for Montreal, tied at 1. Randy Burridge in the first period, and Stephen LeBeau late in the second. And Boston in this second period having several splendid chances against Patrick Roy. Dave Christian has had 2 clean break-ins, 1 in each period. Cam Neely with a break-in chance. And Carbonneau on the draw now against Christian. Over on the boards, fired wide by Keane. That'll do it in the period as Neely clears it out. And a long, hot, tough second period. but a big boost and a lift for the Montreal Canadiens by Woonsocket's Matthew Schneider. A great rush, a feed to LeBeau, a score, and the game tied at 1 after 2 periods.
Thank you. Montreal throwing their weight around again tonight here at the Garden, especially that man, Claude Lemieux. You know, a lot of times Andy Moog has come out to play a puck, and as Claude Lemieux said this morning at the Montreal practice, it is not an accident that the Canadians have been putting their body on Andy Moog.
Well, you know, it's up to them. They know what they have to do, and they know what they want to do. But I know the play will know the way we'll play, and it's going to be the exact same way we did in Montreal. And we played inside the rules, and we got accused hitting their goalie or stuff. But goalie's job's in the crease, and outside the crease is just another player. And if he's there, he'll get hit again.
David, same as what's happening here, it's happening there in Washington, in New York. The Ute knocked down the second and on the first with the tying goal by the Rangers. So philosophy is take the goaltenders if they come out of the crease.
Bob Sweeney is at center. He hasn't played there with Burridge and Christian on the wings. Back for Chelios. Gets it away to Skrudland. Up for Gilchrist. Gilchrist a shot, missed the net, but rebound and a great stop on Lemieux. Oh, he drilled that right on. A great stop by Andy Moog. Ludwig moves for a shot and a short side save. Puck kept in by the Canadians. Burridge breaks it up for Christian. Christian on Ludwig. Shot just missed wide. Low hard drive using Ludwig as a screen. Burridge battling to keep it in. Lost his stick, ran into Gilchrist, gets his stick back. Chelios now to Gilchrist. To Skrudland. Cleared in the Boston zone. Both teams came out vigorously. Neely, center ice, barreling over the line, trying to go in. He's broken up. Canadians come back. Keane on Galley. Upended by Galley. Puck kept in. Keane with it. In front. Missed. Oh, that puck bounce for Montreal was kept in after Galley made a great stop. Prop from Janney over the line. Passed behind Neely, though. And Keane right back. Leaves it for Carbonneau. Carbonneau pokes it in. And a shot, a save there as Walter cut in. Big chance, Montreal. Boy, they are not sitting back. They want to score quickly and then sit on it. And they've come out strong. Walter winding up now as Boston makes a line change. They realize the ice is at its best early, so you can put an attack on in a warm night. Byers rolls it in. Back for Dufresne. And the pace is as fast as it has been in the game. Canadians clearing out. This will be icing. Should be. 1-1 the score, third period.
I really do think that's the philosophy, too. Fresh ice, go out, great guns, up and down, see what you can do. It starts to dry off like that. It's not freezing quickly at all. What you don't want is the puck sticking. It'll stick on some water in some instances. That can cause some problems.
So the Bruins without a shot on in the third period, and the Canadians have 3. And a hard win by Lemieux from the wing. Carpenter with Bob Sweeney and John Carter. Peterson and Galley. In deep, Desjardins. Rolls it around. Bruins strapped to keep it in. Bob Sweeney, Galley. Knocked away by the Canadians. And they break. Courtnall's pass knocked away quickly by Galley, who got back in position. Desjardins looking for LeBeau, who scored the big goal for the Canadians. In the center ice, Carpenter bats it in. Svoboda winding up. Carter on him. He fell down. Courtnall able to clear it out. Covered by Bob Beers. Bruins trying to create an attack and unable to do it here in a 1-1 game, third period. The Canadians' defense is a good offense, and here's Corson over the line, surrounded by Bruins, holding, firing off the side of the net. Cleared up now to Carter. Carter's pass stopped by the back checking of Courtnall. Canadians just out hustling the Bruins here in the opening minutes of period number 3 after tying it up. Lemieux rushing. Pokes it in deep. Spears after him. Takes him down. Puck goes in the corner. Wesley battling for it. Beers too. It rolls in front of the net. Moe trying to clear it out. Was out. And Gilchrist just missed the net. Canadians really carrying the play. Trying to put it in front. Blocked. Wesley there. Wesley hit. Cleared around the boards. Chopped out. Knocked by Bob Sweeney. Poulin fights for it. Peterson moves for it. And the Bruins break it up. Poulin hustles out. Coming now with a line change, though. Gets it over the line for Carter. Carter trying to swing in. Is taken down on the play. Broken up by Chelios. And it never reached Roy. Out comes a fine Bobby Smith. The Bruins will have to slow them down. 4 minutes into the third period. They've had 4 shots.
A goal will slow them down.
Neely taken down. Clears it in. And Chelios is on top of it. Flying back Ludwig. Pass blocked by Neely for Prop. To Don Sweeney to Ray Bourque to start it. Bourque up now for Janney. Janney in the middle for Prop. For Don Sweeney. Over the line. He spilled. The clear out. Bourque covers. Can't set up Janney. Prop steals the puck. Can't set up a play. It bounces back in the Boston end. Bruins do not have a shot in the third period. It is 1-1 as the Canadians come out attacking. Bourque rushes. 4 men back. Gains the line. Clears it in. But Dufresne able to clear it out on a high stick from a Canadian. The face-off in the Canadian zone. 1-1 third period on NESN at the Garden. And the face-off in the Montreal zone. Almost 5 minutes played.
Here's a pass into Carter. Now Carter's going to try to the outside tuck and slide. Now he's going to get hauled down for his trouble. The dive was a little bit too obvious.
Montreal has had 6 power plays and Boston 5. Bruins scored a shorthanded goal by Burridge. LeBeau tied it up late in the second period. Puck cleared by Schneider, a cool customer at 20 years of age on defense. And he, with the rush, set up the big tying goal for Montreal. He's on with Dufresne. LeBeau stopped, knocked to Burridge, and Burridge is saying a Canadian gave him the pass over the line, so to be onside, but they say no, offside.
He also arguing that his feet were onside. He made the little curl at the blue line.
Carpenter is out with Burridge on the left and Christian on the right. Alan Peterson, his finest game. Defense. Throwing his weight around. Played vigorously. He's on with Galley. Schneider rushes, clears it over the line into the corner. Back is Galley. Up and out, but it's Schneider with it again. Now to Corson. And it's 1-1 third period on NESN at the Garden. Pat Burns has to be pleased. His team has rattled 4 shots on Andy Moog after tying up the game. And Bourque fires it in now. But Svoboda has time. Starts it out. This could be icing if it bounces right for Boston, but Moog forced to play it. With the hustling of the Canadians, they just got that extra step. Out comes Burridge now. Bourque is coming up, and Burridge lost the puck. Svoboda is winding up. All the way to LeBeau. Forced back by Burridge. Broken up, but it's covered by Chelios and Corson. He's checked, kept in. Burridge hustles in. Roy knocks it away. And it is not cleared out. Well, wait a minute. A high stick call on the Bruins and a face-off outside the Montreal line. 13:45 left here in the third period. 1-1 the score. And the Canadians, of course, given their game situation, what really is there to lose? The way Roy has stopped one-on-ones and attack they have. Dave Poulin on the Boston bench.
I don't think Dave Poulin's been out there for a shift yet here in the third period. He took a wicked cut on the right ear.
Neely, Janney, and Prop. Galley winding up. Center ice. It's blocked at the Montreal line. Carbonneau. Keane with Walter. Keane taken down by Don Sweeney. Don Sweeney broken up by Keane. To Walter. Broken up by Galley. Up for Neely. He can't hang on. Bruins without a shot. 7 minutes almost into period number 3 in a 1-1 game. Don Sweeney over the line. Holding. In is Janney in front. Jam! Score! No goal says. No light on. No goal says Morrell. The stick was up from Neely. Just a jam of players in front of Roy. Morrell, no question, he said. He waved it off. That Neely had the stick up, but no light went on.
Well, the goal judge did his thing. He saw the puck go across the line and hit the button to turn the line on.
Well, we're going to get to take a look at this.
Watch Hoggood. He was the one who went into the crease.
Now he's driving to the net.
Was he
It's coming
forced in?
across. There's Ludwig taking him in. That is the goal. I don't care how it... When you get pushed into the crease, I don't care how it goes in. He's going to say that maybe Hoggood kicked it. Let's see if Hoggood gets a foot on it.
Let's see if Hoggood has a skate in the crease.
There's the shot. That is a goal. I don't know how Denny Morrell could disallow that one.
Oh, that was easy. He skated toward the net and waved his hands.
But how?
I don't know what he was basing it on.
There was nobody kicked it.
Bruins got a shot on net. Beers a shot. Oh, Roy just saw it through the screen. Not a hard shot. Quick wrist shot by Beers. Poulin breaks it up. He is stopped by Roy. Loose puck. Christian can't get a handle to it. Burridge does. A Canadian made a stop in front. Beers with it. Into a screen. Beers keeps it in. Bruins knocked down in front was Poulin. Back now over the line. It is Lemieux. Hit hard. Christian broke it up. Puck kept in. In front, a shot missed by Bobby Smith from close in. Back comes Poulin. Bruins did everything but score. Now to Bob Beers. Beers over the line. Fires in. Boston now with 2 shots here. Here's Carpenter trying to keep it in. Does. Fires one wide of Roy from well out. Bourque switches to a right-hand shot to clear it up the boards. Round the boards, kept in by Carter. Bob Sweeney in front, knocked away by Dufresne. Kept in, behind the net, Sweeney. Broken up. Sweeney gets it. Bob Sweeney loses it. Dufresne trying to fire it out, does. Bourque moved it back offside to Bob Sweeney, and the Bruins come alive on the attack. 7-8 minutes into this period.
I think the Canadians hit the post off of Moog's arm on Bobby Smith.
I think you're right, Kirk. I think you're right. I'd like to see that shot on the Montreal goal, though, with Roy out of there.
Steal by Poulin. Can't catch up it. The sliding puck. Any other time with dead ice like it would be in about 4 or 5 minutes. Hits the shaft of a stick. Bounces around. 2 Canadians in the crease make the save. Bob Beers elects to go backhand. Hits a foot.
Well, good plays by Carbonneau for one.
Another one by Bob Beers. Another one by Poulin.
Watch Bobby Smith, 15. Yeah, that did go off the post. Off of Moog and off the post. That close to being a 2-1 Canadian lead.
Wesley clears it in, hustles in. Svoboda able to keep it, though, and get it away to Corson. Breakout here. Janney is on defense. And the play offside. Janney was ready, covering for Wesley. 1-1 the score, 3rd period on NESN at the Garden. And the face-off outside the Boston line. 11:32 left here in the 3rd period. 1-1 the score. Burridge short-handed from Poulin and Don Sweeney in the 1st period. And one of the 6 Canadian power plays. And tied up by Stephen LeBeau and Matthew Schneider. For the line, Wesley penetrates. Janney cutting in. Cross for Wesley. In deep for Neely. Too many passes. The Bruins and the Canadians able to tap it out. Keane.
I thought Janney was going to take the backhander.
I did too.
9 minutes into the 3rd period. Bruins have cranked up their attack after being stopped over the first 7 minutes. Canadians wheel it back in. Work with it. 1-1 the score. Way to Janney. Collected it nicely. Over the line. Stick handling. Broken up though. And Chelios sends it away to Keane. Keane with Walter. Walter over the line on Bork. Drops it back for Carbonneau. Broken up. Breakout Boston. 3-on-2. Prop for Janney. Janney over the line. Holding. Going deep. Wait a minute.
Carbonneau took a hit at the other end of the ice, and he stayed down, hoping Morrell would blow the whistle because he knew the Canadians were outmanned going the other way. And that's exactly what happened.
Denny Morrell, I don't know, boy.
That's exactly what happened. Look at Mike Milbury.
And the Carbonneau's smiling. Make a fool out of an official doing that. You're all right, Guy.
Well, hey, good play by Carbonneau. I mean, that's an old veteran play.
That's an old trick. You say, okay.
Neely, I believe, is the one who put the hit on him. Yep. Morrell looks back. The Bruins were on their way.
3-on-2 it was.
Janney delays, goes outside. That's the poke check from before, the play before.
And a conference back inside the Boston line. Carbonneau going over to the Montreal bench. Milbury yells something at him, and he's yelling something back at Mike Milbury.
No, it's
Corson and Byers having a pretty good conversation between each other. There's Mike having something to say to Denny Morrell. I still don't know what Morrell was calling, Derek, when he disallowed the goal. Hoggard was on his back, so he couldn't have called.
Hoggard was put in that crease. He took a swipe at it with the stick.
Face-off inside the Canadian line. It is Janney, Neely, and Prop with Don Sweeney and Galley. 1-1 the score. Stephen LeBeau scored late in the first period after Bruins had killed a penalty after a superb rush by Matthew Schneider. Burridge, the Boston goal, short-handed. And that's it. Neely battling to keep it in, but the Canadians, Walter has it. Walter, a shot off Galley, deflects into Don Sweeney. Starts it back, up the middle, all the way down to Roy. Winding up is Ludwig, who's on with Chelios and Carbonneau. Carbonneau, block, Prop. Trying to send Janney in, but the Canadians back check and break it up. Chelios blocked in front by Prop, taken by Janney. But Prop over the line, the shot, save, and taken down as Walter by Neely. And a little punch in there by Neely to Chelios. No retaliation by Chelios. They've been feuding, and let's see what Morrell is going to call. Still battling around there is Janney. Let's see what breaks out here. Neely now in the midst of it.
Canadians are trying to bait Cam as they have the whole series. It's a shame to see Cam give into it at this point.
Oh, he's just holding the stick up there.
Guy Carbonneau, a cheap punch.
Chelios on Don Sweeney. Now, what is Morrell going to call here?
I don't know what Morrell is doing. Morrell has lost this game a long time ago.
1-1 the score. Back in a moment. Well, still battling, just about separated now, and they got Neely off the ice.
Which is exactly what they wanted to do.
Carbonneau is going, and that's apparently it. And he is doused by
some dummy threw a bucket of popcorn at Guy, and he's eating it off the dasher. I don't care if he is a Canadian. I like Carbonneau. He's a pretty cool customer. Well, Cam really got it going here. He's got to ignore Chelios. I know he wants to drop him where he stands, but Got to win that fourth game first. Have that fourth game wrapped up, then go ahead and smoke them if you want.
Yeah, wait for after the game.
Yeah.
That happened once.
Not now.
In my career. Oh, well.
9:54 left in the third
You got to stay out
period.
of trouble here.
Penalties.
That's all right. Cam will get a rest in the box.
Montreal, number 21, Guy Carbonneau. Number 17, Craig Ludwig. For Boston, number 32, Don Sweeney. And number 8, Cam Neely. Each received 2 minutes for roughing at 10 minutes, 6 seconds.
Maybe it'll turn out to be a blessing in disguise that he gets a 2-minute rest here and gets some fresh legs for the final 7 minutes or so of this game, or regulation.
What it was, the Canadians saw it happening, so started a little melee, and what happens is the flow of the game was going the Bruins' direction. Now the next shift coming up, got to pump the legs up, go get them again. Go at them again. Throw everything at them.
Well, the flow is this. The Canadians over the first 7 minutes had 4 shots, the Bruins none. Since then, and we're just beyond the halfway mark, the Bruins have had 4 shots and the Canadians none. That's the way it goes on a hot night in a tightly contested battle. Dave Shea, NHL Update.
Well, the Rangers, like the Canadiens, have come back to tie their game at 1-1 in the third period. Normand Rochefort unassisted at 1:47 of the third. They're tied at 1-1. This update brought to you by Budweiser.
In the Boston end, Bourque pursued by Courtnall. Up on the left for Burridge. Burridge, the lead for Poulin. Poulin over the line, holding, rolling puck. Fires it in wide, though. Courtnall forced to chop it into the Canadian bench as he tried to clear it out, and the faceoff called outside the Montreal line.
Yeah, Wesley tapped it in. Picked it out of the air.
Boston line is Poulin, Burridge, and Christian. LeBeau, who tied the game up after the great rush by Schneider, is centering Courtnall and Corson. Desjardins is on with Svoboda. 1-1 the score, each team with 4 shots in the third period. Desjardins to Courtnall. The clear in. Bourque first. All the way up, center ice, bounces for the Bruins. Christian off for Poulin. The shot blocked by Desjardins. Poulin checking Desjardins. Christian checking Svoboda. In deep, the Canadians get it. Now broken up by Poulin all the way across. Wesley can't get it. A breakout for Courtnall. He can't reach it. Bourque hammers it to center ice. Picked up by LeBeau at the Canadian line. Boy, that puck is bouncing severely now. Rolling can be a factor. This one will be icing against Raymond Bourque and Boston.
Well, should the Bruins put the Canadiens away tonight, NESN will have Game 1 of the Wales Conference Championship next Thursday night at 7:30. Be sure to catch the action from right here at the Garden as the Bruins face either the Washington Capitals or the New York Rangers for the right to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals. If the Bruins beat Montreal, we'll be there. Game 1 of the Wales Conference Championship next Thursday night at 7:30 right here on NESN. Gee, I'd feel a whole lot better reading that if they were up 6-1.
Certainly would.
Rather than 1-1 here in the third.
Smith, Peterson, Lemieux, the line out there with Schneider and Dufresne. Carpenter on the draw with Smith to the left of Andy Moe. It's been about 4.5, 5 minutes since the Canadians have had a shot on Moe. The way the pattern of the game has gone. But they had 4 big ones in the first 7 minutes. And they get the face-off in the Boston end. Carpenter kind of foils it there. Now a battle of strength. Goes in deep. Lemieux still going. Galley. Carpenter now behind the net. Poked away. Peterson. There are 2 Petersons there. 1 for each team. Galley. Out a bouncing puck. Boy, it is tough. That puck just rolls, bounces, curls. Galley able to get it away to Alan Peterson. far and away his best series game and a very strong defensive game. Bruins just clear it out. Now Carter intercepts, trying to break, spill. And back comes Montreal. 3-on-2 for the moment. Shot here and a save and no rebound as Smith fired that one in, and Lemieux going right for the net again. Jamming in on Andy Moe. 1-1 the score, third period on NESN.
John Carter tried to break into the Montreal zone, was tripped up. No call there as Bobby Smith got a piece of it.
And the Canadians break out 3-on-1 on the left side.
Watch Lemieux.
Now Lemieux's going to Moog. He's got it. He's going to. And
Why does Morel allow
protected
that?
himself there pretty good.
Face off in the Boston end. Bork with it. Bork out for Burridge. Too many men, the fans yell. Christian a shot. Hanging on is Roy. And face-off called, and Poulin could not even get anywhere near Roy. Ludwig stepped in between. Face-off in the Montreal end.
That was a half. You know, Dave wasn't going to create any penalty out of that. Trying to push him into Roy.
The Boston line is Poulin, Christian, and Burridge. 1-1 the score. Poulin and Don Sweeney a pass out. Shorthanded goal by Burridge in the first period. Late in the second, the final minute, after the Bruins had killed the 6th power play for Montreal. Incidentally, no power plays in the third period. And Schneider made a great rush down the left wing side and set it in front to LeBeau, who tied it up. Christian on the faceoff. Strudlin. Back for Bork. Up. Shot by Poulin. Blocked. Never reached in front. Stopped by Chelios. It's off for Wesley. Wesley trying to cut in. Spilled by Strudlin. And it's cleared into the stands by Ludwig. Face off now to the right of Roy. 7:19 left.
There were 11 power plays between the two teams in the first 40 minutes. As Pat Burns might say, he never played the puck there, and Morel's right there.
Puck. Morel right there.
As Pat Burns would say, they're all now playing for the Lady Byng out there, I guess, huh?
Oh, well, nose to the grindstone. Keep pumping away.
Alan Peterson comes out to play with Ray Bork. Christian still with Poulin and Burridge. Face off to the right of Roy. Chopped around. Poulin keeps it in. The shot deflected wide. The Canadians guard well in front of Roy, blocking shots. And Strudlin comes back, rolls it in deep. Alan Peterson in the corner. Check. Hit. Puck loose. Kept in by the Canadians. Burridge backing for it. Burridge able to get it. And the Bruins started out. Can't connect with Poulin, though. Boston elects to change up. Desjardins coming back. Neely after him. It is flipped in by Lemieux, taken over by Bork. Third period. Out for Neely. Up for Janney with Neely over the line. Janney checked. Broken up by Keane. Not cleared out. Kept in by Don Sweeney. Deflected shot over the net. Kept in by Galley closing. Galley behind the net. Trying to get it in front. Can't. Round the boards. Don Sweeney kept it in. Janney. Janney's pass outside the line. Wrapped in by Galley. But the Canadians, the Bruins have to clear the zone. Hoggett is on with Janney and Neely at left wing. Looked like he scored. Dennis Morel didn't allow it. Walter checked and Galley. Now with 6 minutes left.
Both teams look tired.
Oh, they are tired. And that puck bouncing tough. Hoggett rolls it in, hustles in. But it's Chelios with it. Away from Hoggett. Beautifully in the center ice, now blocked by Janney. Janney trying to move it in, stop. Svoboda. Back, broken up by Bork. Can't set a play, though. Back for Chelios. The Bruins change up. Both coaches, Burns and Milbury, trying to make quick changes. And also have key players out there like Chelios for Montreal and Bork for Boston. Bork stays out there with Wesley now. 1-1 the score. In the center ice, Corson trying to break, stopped by Bob Sweeney. Loose puck, Carpenter looking for help. Gains the line, dropped it. Well, Bob Sweeney didn't work. Bork able to, no, they say, didn't keep it in. Ooh, Bork is protesting with Collins. And it was so close and would have been a big chance for Boston as Bork thought he had kept it in.
Well, I thought he kept it in too. We're going to get to see it on the line. Yeah, this is, you got to be hanging around for a while to pick this one up. A little bit too far away.
Face off outside the Montreal line. 5:04 left in the third period. The Bruins with 28 shots, giving him 5 in the third period. And the Canadians have 23 shots, and they have 5 in the third period. But 4 of them came in the first 7 minutes.
When their legs were fresh.
And the ice was fast.
Fresh, right.
Janney with Hoggood and Neely. Hoggood at left wing. Ray Bork over to Peterson. Drives it in. Svoboda. Starting out. In the center ice. Corson can't hang on. Puck bounces now for Desjardins. Cleared up. Blocked by Peterson. Peterson taken down, but able to get it away to Ray Bork. Up to Neely. Over the line. Right wing side. Hard shot. High and wide. Long rebound. Hoggood. Janney trying to keep it in. Janney taken down on the play. Walter back over the line. Neely trying to break it up. Canadians fight for the loose puck, and it rolls off for Don Sweeney. He hustles out with Janney. Janney has it over the line with Don Sweeney. Drops it for Hoggood. The shot is blocked by Walter. The Canadians make sure they get back. Hoggood fights for it in deep. Wheels it around the corner, but the Canadians with it. 1-1, 4 minutes left. Keane clears to the Boston end. Galley now catching the Canadian change. Off now for Poulin. Drives to the corner. Rawat knocks it away from Burridge. Burridge in the corner gets it. Now to Christian. Christian back in deep for Poulin. High pass. Poulin off the boards into Burridge. Burridge pass intercepted by Lemieux. Canadians break it out. Peterson, a lead for Lemieux. Poulin after him. And Poulin broke him up. Took him down. Lemieux keeps it in. Knocked away by Poulin around the boards. Kept in by Chelios. Behind the net. Taken off by Don Sweeney. Up for Burridge, and he's able to clear it out. What a defensive play by Dave Poulin on Lemieux. Christian after Ludwig. Forces it to the corner. 3:10 left. Third period, 1-1. Bork trying to keep it in. Trips Peterson as the puck goes out. Back for it, Wesley. Wesley away from Lemieux, not quite. Broken up by Smith. Puck kept in by Ludwig. Fans yelled that was outside the line. Christian able to clear it out. Ludwig drives it back in. Behind the net, fought for. Moog helps out. Up for Carter. Carter trying to come out, forced to clear it. Pressure by the Canadians. Winding down, 2:35 in the third period. Svoboda fires to the corner. Bounces near Moog. Covers up. And a face-off.
Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all that you do, this Bud's for you. And by your New England area Century 21 offices. Put your trust in #1, Century 21. And by Nissan, building cars for people who want more than just a means of getting from here to there. Nissan, built for the human race. And by Sullivan Tire Family Car Care Center. Because family spirit is what Sullivan is all about. And by Blue Cross Blue Shield, the best when you need it the most.
I remember one time we were in a double, I think it was a double overtime or triple overtime. Esposito weighed 225 pounds, lost 15 pounds in the game. That's this type of night. You're going to get tired.
LeBeau wins it. Desjardins shoots, save, rebound, knocked away, and the Bruins get it out. Bob Sweeney is covered by Courtnall, though. Fierce back-checking by Montreal. When the Bruins appear to be going for a possible 3-on-2. Desjardins now. This could be icing. 2:07 left. Third period. 28 shots total Boston, 24 for Montreal. Courtnall and Carter. A little chippiness there. The face-off in the Montreal end.
Tempers are definitely borderline here.
Ray Bourque has played. You want to talk about?
You want to talk about fatigue? Pump it up. Those guys right there. See if they can find one.
1-1 the score, and the face-off after the icing is to the right of Patrick Roy. Bruins thought they had a goal. Cam Neely raised the stick as Hoggood jammed into the crease, and Dennis Morrell waved it off. Usually they go to the PA announcer and say, no goal because.
Yes.
He did nothing. No goal because Hoggood was in the crease.
Or lost sight of the puck. How could you lose sight of the puck?
Whistle had blown.
The whistle awful quick.
No explanation. Janney is out there now. Propp and Neely. Peterson, who's played a tremendous game, is on with Ray Bourque. Standing ovation by the fans with 2:07 left. 1-1 the score in the third period. LeBeau, a big goal late in the second period. Dufresne is there with Walter. The checkers out there. Skrudland. Taking his time on the faceoff with Janney. He has to set up first. Now he takes some time, stalling. Tells Schneider to watch Propp. Bourque has shifted to the left defense and Peterson right. Allen is always a left defenseman. The draw right to Bourque. Bourque goes deep. Shot locked in front. Canadians clear it out. Neely and Keane ready to go. And Allen Peterson fires it back in. Taking over is Dufresne. Taking his time now with Schneider. Schneider cleared it to the Boston end. 1:40 left. Bourque to Peterson. Peterson flipped it up. Janney trying to poke it in. Janney trying to get it. Knocked away. Around the boards. Kept in by Wesley. Wesley fires it in deep. Propp trying to get it. Janney. Propp back to Janney. Out for Galley. A shot. High. Rebound. Hopped away. Wesley. Scores! Wesley with 1:13 left scores! The Bruins lead 2-1! Glenn Wesley!
What can you say? Right here comes through. The shot from the point by Galley. He's blocked. He was high off the glass. Right there, Propp misses the rebound. Wesley pounces on it. Upstairs by Patrick Roy.
Boy, Galley almost a hero again. The Canadians had their best out there. Chelios and Ludwig on defense. Carbonneau.
Unfortunately, they lost sight of a bouncing puck. The puck bounced for Boston.
as a timeout call by Burns. 1:13 left. Wesley, the score to make it 2-1 Boston. And the Bruins will simply have to take control. They're going to take Roy right out of there.
That man right there has played absolutely fantastic.
Third year with the Boston Bruins. He's still just a kid.
Just a baby. He's only 20.
Can he vote yet? Yeah, 21.
Is he? We think of him as a veteran.
Glenn Wesley from Craig Janney, and what about Galley? We're underway. Ray Bourque clears it in. Poulin is out there. Roy has to stay in. You'll see the time. We'll watch the players. Wesley kept it in. Check. Neely fires it in. 50 seconds left. Poulin pokes it deep. Dropped into the corner, trying to tie it up. Around the boards, Roy stays in. 45 seconds left. Poulin breaks it up. 40 seconds left. 2-1 Boston. Out goes Roy. Rushing Courtnall clears it in the Boston end. Around the board. It is kept in by Chelios to the backboards. Hammered by Poulin, not out. Kept in by the Canadians. Battling on the board. Burridge able to clear it. Icing, though. Bruins will try and prevent it. Nobody beats Courtnall. 15 seconds left. Face-off in the Boston end. It's been a standing ovation for 4 or 5 minutes here, but it's not over yet. Wesley and Svoboda battling. The goal is Wesley, assist to Janney, but there should be one for Galley, who shot it off the backboards.
Yeah, it could be.
Roy out of the net. He's been out for about the last 30 seconds.
Bobby Carpenter coming out for the draw.
The face-off in the Boston end. Burridge cleared it.
I imagine Poulin will be there as well.
Well, Morrell says, let's go. Apparently, Milbury didn't call a timeout. And the Bruins out there are Carpenter, Neely, Poulin, Bourque, Wesley, LeBeau for Montreal with Corson, Schneider, Lemieux, Chelios, Skrudland to take the face-off.
There will be no penalties called, I don't believe, at this point. So whatever anybody's near anybody.
I can't hear you, Derek.
I don't think anyone can at this point.
We'll just try and call it. 15 seconds left. You can count the time off virtually yourself there. While we look at the ice. Well, there it is. LeBeau will draw, and Poulin will take it. The idea for Dave Poulin, just not let them win it cleanly for Chelios. They do. Chelios is checked, rolls it in front, knocked away. After it, Neely racing over the line. Shot, scores! Cam Neely wraps it up with 5 seconds left. The Bruins win the Adams division. Oh, some fans on the ice. 5 seconds left in the game. The security took him out.
Security.
Cam Neely was determined to make that red line. He more than made it.
He was not going to shoot that puck. He fought. He bulled his way. Struggled down the right side. Got control of it. Body position.
It's over, though.
It's over.
Five seconds left. 3-1.
All the intimidation, the cheap shots the Canadians took. The Bruins weathered the storm. They took it. Yes, we can.
Cam Neely unassisted, 1955. The Bruins will move on. The next series won't start for quite a stretch. And Rangers and Washington last report tied at 1. Mike Melbury looking on. Skrudland wraps it in. The game is over. They salute Andy Moog. A tremendous game in the nets. The Bruins outshoot Montreal 31-24. Win it. The Adams division. Toughest division in the league. Beating the Montreal Canadiens in 5 games. And they took every shot that the Canadiens could throw at them and beat them.
Beat them soundly as well, 4 games to 1.
Ted Sater there, Mike Milbury.
You've got to give a lot of courage to the Canadiens. Down 3 games to 0, they fought back in Montreal. They clawed their way here. Andy Moog came up very, very big for the Boston Bruins, as did Alan Peterson.
What a game Alan Peterson played, and Mike Milbury rewarded him with plenty of skating time. The Canadiens now congratulate the Bruins after they had celebrated around Andy Moog. Patrick Roy, he kept them in. One-on-ones.
The Bruins had him on the ropes long before the 2-1. Patrick Roy stopped 3 breakaways. Canadians going for it.
There you see them, Dave Christian, Andy Moog. 5 games, the Bruins eliminate Montreal. The fans have been ecstatic since the Wesley goal, with a continuing thunderous standing ovation. Lemieux and Moog, they've met before.
Andy Moog shaking everyone's hand. All's forgotten, maybe not forgiven. We got next year.
Andy Moog, tremendous in the first 7 minutes of this third period. The Canadians came out flying.
Craig Ludwig is given more than a handshake. Little pat and a congratulations. Claude Lemieux last. There's Ray Bourque.
Plenty of class shown by the Canadians that wasn't quite demonstrated on the ice in the last 2 games.
No, that was a hard-fought battle. Gonna get another look at the Wesley goal. Here's the hard work by Prop to Janney. Janney out front, a bouncing puck goes back to Galley. Galley snaps his shot over everything. Bounces out front. Roy can't find it. Prop misses it. Wesley seizes the opportunity and just drills it upstairs.
So it should be Galley and Janney on the assist, along with Wesley the goal.
I don't think Gary Galley cares as long as that's in the net. And I am very happy.
Andy Moog.
Andy Moog, Ray Bourque, right there. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Ray.
The final score as the Bruins win the Adams division, eliminating Montreal in 5 games. Boston 3, Montreal 1. We'll return with more in a moment.
That night got a lot hotter when this man banged one by Patrick Roy for a 2-1 lead. Eventually Cam Neely, the open netter, 3-1, and now the dreaded Habs are done and bring on either Washington or the Rangers, eh?
Yeah, we're very happy with what happened tonight, and I was fortunate enough to be at the right place at the right time tonight, and we scored a big goal with a minute left, and that pretty much sealed it when Cam got the empty netter.
Well, let's take a look at it and have you comment on it.
Oh, looked like somebody shot over. I think Ray shot it over top of the net. The rebound came out. Brian Prop fanned on it, and I was right there, and I just took a shot at it and went off his blocker and right in.
I think it's only fitting that you were the one to get the game-winning goal. After all, you were the one that capped that great comeback in November, which seemed to epitomize what kind of season this was going to be. I mean, you own him. You know, I'm only kidding, but you've got to feel darn good about beating this man twice in the same course of a year.
Definitely, he's probably one of the best goaltenders in the league, and he's very tough to stop. And any chance you get on Patrick Roy, 7 or 8 times out of 10, he's going to stop you almost all the time. And if you get an opportunity to shoot it at him and you score, you got to feel pretty happy about yourself.
The team had such great opportunities tonight against Patrick, and he kept coming up big time and time again. Did you have a feeling that this wasn't going to be your night, that he was just on and get ready to go to Montreal?
Oh, he was definitely on top of his game, and we had some quality chances. I think in the second period we had the power play for 2 minutes, and we kept it in the whole time, and he was stopping shot after shot, and it got to be a little frustrating, but we went in the third, and we know we were playing well, and if we keep shooting the puck, the chances are we're going to get one, and he played a strong game for us, and he sealed it for us.
Toward the end of the third period, it looked kind of like a heavyweight fight around the 14th round, where the two fighters had been going toe-to-toe and for blow, and the legs were hardly moving. The heart was there, but the body didn't want to respond. Did you think you were never going to get to the end of that period?
It really felt like it. It was really warm out there tonight, and everybody was going 30, 40-second shifts, and you got really tired right at the end of that shift, and it just got warmer and warmer, and we're glad to get it over with tonight.
Well, now a few days off before the Wales Conference Championship.
Yeah, it'd be a nice little rest for us.
Hey, congratulations on the game winner and an outstanding series.
Thanks, Dave.
Glenn Wesley, our guest. Tommy, let's go back to you.
Okay, Dave, thank you. Final in Game 5 from Boston Garden. The Bruins win it 3-1 over the Montreal Canadiens, and the series 4-1. They have wrapped it up in 5. Move on now to the Stanley Cup Final Four, the Wales Conference Championship. Game 1 will be from Boston Garden, and we'll have it for you here on NESN. I'll be back with the game highlights next on your New England Sports Network. Until 33 seconds left in the second period. Stéphane Lebeau ties the game.
Left in the period. Rushing Schneider all alone in. The shot and a score by Lebeau. Schneider to Lebeau with 33 seconds left.
So the third period now. Boston and Montreal are even at 1-1. Roy out of the net and down, and the Bruins can't put it in.
He is stopped by Roy. Loose puck. Christian can't get a handle to it. Barrett does. A Canadian made a stop in front.
The way the game was going, it looked very much like we were going to see overtime. And then a big goal late by Glenn Wesley.
Back to Janney. Out for Galley. A shot. High. Rebound. Knocked away. Wesley. Scores! Wesley with 1:13 left. Scores! The Bruins lead 2-1.
The goal with 1:13 to go. Not over yet. Some crucial seconds to be survived before this thing is official. But they more than survived. Cam Neely finds the empty net after a vital face-off down in the Boston end.
After it, Neely racing over the line. Shot. Scores!
And finally, it's over 3-1 Boston. And for the third straight year, one of these two teams eliminates the other in 5. This year, it's Montreal out of there. And Andy Moog, who has been in the Boston net for the entire Montreal series, standing by with Dave Shea down at the Garden. What a night that man had, David.
All right, Tommy, I think Andy may have lost 20 or 30 pounds. Not that he could afford to lose one. How do you feel?
I could afford to lose a few. We've been playing a lot, and I'd practice. I'd probably put a few on. I feel exhausted, but extremely happy right now.
Well, you had some real testers early in the game, and then you had some real testers early in the third period, and you survived them all.
Yeah, I think that possibly the first half of this game, the first 30 minutes, might have been the best 30 I'd played in the series. They had some quality scoring chances, and they had quite a few of them, and I think it was a wide-open game, and I was a little surprised to see it because we had equal the number of quality chances at their end. And, both goalies were keeping the puck out, so it was very interesting down the stretch.
What was your thought late in the second period when Schneider came down on the rush and Lebeau finished it off?
Well, it was a little frustrating because, we had a set 2-on-1 there, and the pass got through, and, I was there, but I didn't get enough over there to stop the puck. And, I thought we played excellent up until that time, killing that penalty, and it was just a little bit of mix-up at the bench and a little bit of mix-up on the 2-on-1, but, it all worked out for the best, so it don't matter.
Yeah, that seemed to give them a real boost going into the clubhouse between 2 and 3, and they came out strong at you, Andy. Bobby Smith had one shot that you got a piece of that hit the post. And Mike Keane, we're going to see it now after being dumped by Gary Galley on a great hip check, brought back memories of John Busick type hip checks. All of a sudden, Keane popped up. He had the puck on his stick, and he was looking at you.
Yeah, he got fed a nice little pass. I think it was Carbonneau dropped the pass into him, and I don't think he really got enough of it to get it on the net. I may have got a piece of it and just directed a little bit wide, but you know, he just tried to get it on the net quick, and you know, I think maybe I got a little bit of it, but you know, he didn't get the shot he wanted. I'm sure. I think he would really like to drill that one.
As his teammates wanted apparently every opportunity they could to drill you. You had more company in the net than I'm sure you have at the house for Christmas.
It was a busy time down there. This whole series, I think that their ploy was do it constantly because he can't call every penalty, and he'll call once in a while, but he can't call them all. And you know, they were in the crease quite a bit and bumping, and you know, we just kind of sucked it up and turned the other cheek because it really gets us into some bad habits when we retaliate. And the guys sucked it up good, and everybody kept their cool, and it all worked out for the best. So we're pretty happy about it.
I've got to ask you, now that the series is over, you don't have to see Montreal again until next October at the earliest. How much did the stuff that was written after Game 1 by the Montreal players in the Boston press, how they could beat you, you were beatable, and even Patrick commenting on how you could be had, how much did that fire you up for the rest of the series, or did it have no effect on you?
Well, if I had read the papers, I might have been affected by it, but I don't really like to read the articles. Oftentimes players are taken out of text. They may not be misquoted, but they might be taken out of text, and you know, I think that sometimes we get labeled with bad comments, and if we could talk face to face, you'd probably say that wasn't the case. So I just try to leave the papers there, and if I have to speak in them, I'll just keep them straightforward and honest, and just try and forget about them, because it's really got no bearing on what happens on the ice.
I don't know if you're aware of it. Washington and John Druce apparently just beat the Rangers 2-1 in overtime, so you'll be facing the Caps. How do you feel about that possibility?
Well, if the season has any indication of what the series is going to be like, it was back and forth all series. We played a very good game down there, beat them. And they beat us badly in here one night, so I think we can look forward to some tremendous hockey, and I think a couple teams that are pretty close in talent-wise.
Well, enjoy the rest. I know you and the guys can use it, Andy. Congratulations.
Thanks, Dave.
Andy Moog, the game-winning goaltender, and he is on a roll, as are the Bruins, getting ready now for the Capitals. And two other guys who are on a roll are standing by. Fred and Derek, guys.
Thank you, Dave. No breeze 5-game series, but certainly not expected because this is the toughest division in the league. Look at those standings at the end of the season. Best record overall, the Bruins. Montreal 8 points in back, but right in there challenging, and so it was bound to be tough.
Canadians are a well-coached hockey club. They've got a lot of sound defensive players. They had some problems scoring goals this year, and I think that, you know, Richer was their hot gun. Corson had a bit of a tough series. That is not the way that Shane would like to have played. I think he was buttoned down pretty good by the Bruins. I think the Bruins played extremely sound defensively as well. The goaltending was definitely there on both sides of the ledger, and we just we capitalized on our chances.
Now they face the Washington Capitals. That doesn't start till about a week. Well-deserved rest for the Bruins. For the Capitals, how do you look at that one?
Well, I got to look at the week off, first of all. What's that do for you? You know, you're going to get back maybe a couple of days off, back to practice, regroup the power play, regroup everything. The penalty killing's going fine. So, you know, you got the Capitals in the same boat. They have some injuries, but they've been playing extremely well. It's going to be a little time to kind of relish in what you've been doing and the success. Its attitude is going to be the key, and Mike Milbury, no doubt in my mind, will keep the Bruins sharp in that department.
Well, another key is that the Bruins have 4 players who were Caps, and Christian is just as recently as this year, and Gould, of course, coming after completing long service. Bobby Carpenter was a Cap, so a lot of ex-Caps there. Galley, of course.
And Galley, and so, I mean, you've got some guys who are definitely used to playing in that building, and the secrets of the building will be definitely discussed, how the boards are going to play, etc. But I think really what the Bruins have got to do is just keep sharp, keep their attitude sharp, stay positive, stay up, and stay going.
And, of course, Andy Moog, most of this series, but we'll see Reggie Lemelin in that next series.
No doubt in my mind. Reggie Lemelin is a quality goalkeeper. He's one of the best in the league, one of the best in the business, and it's just that this was Moog's turn to shine, and he certainly did it. Reggie, there's no animosity there, and the chances will come, and Reggie will play and play well.
So the golf is delayed for the Boston Bruins, and the final score, Boston 3, Montreal 1. Here's Tom.
Okay, Fred, thank you. We have that goal that won the game and the series for the Washington Caps at Madison Square Garden tonight. We have that and more for you as well. You're watching Bruins Instant Replay on NESN. I'm Tom Larson. Bruins have won the Adams Division Championship 3-1. The game score, 4-1 the series score. We'll be back with more on NESN. Garden tonight was headed for overtime. As it turned out, it didn't go there. Bruins with a goal by Wesley and then the empty net goal that gave them a 2-goal win over the Montreal Canadiens. The game at Madison Square Garden between the Washington Caps and the New York Rangers did go to overtime. They, too, were tied 1-1 for a good part of the evening. The game went to overtime. In that situation, a 1-1 game. John Druce, who has been a goal-scoring machine for the Washington Caps, tips in the drive from Jeff Courtnall, and the Caps win it 2-1, and they take their series 4-1. That is the 12th goal of the playoffs for John Druce. Checking the scoring summary on the third period down at Boston Garden tonight. As you know, we came in with a 1-1 situation, and it stayed that way until there was a minute and 13 seconds left to play when Glenn Wesley scored what turned out to be the game-winning goal for the Bruins. Craig Janney had an assist. It was, by the way, for Wesley, his second goal of the postseason, and then with 5 seconds left on the clock, Cam Neely found the empty net, and that accounted for the final score of 3-1. Boston, the final shots on goal were 31 for the Bruins and 24 for the Montreal Canadiens. This, by the way, is the first time since 1943 that the Bruins have eliminated the Canadiens in a playoff series on Boston Garden ice. That series was also 4-1 Bruins. The Bruins won in 29. They won again in 88. Both of those were in Montreal. The Bruins have never faced the Washington Caps in a playoff before. Likewise, Hartford back in the opening round of the playoffs. The Capitals have never advanced beyond a divisional semifinal. Now they're in the Wales Conference Championship against the Bruins, and of course the Bruins will have the home ice advantage by virtue of their best record in the National Hockey League for the season. And for the regular season, the Bruins and the Caps played 3 times. Bruins won 2 of those. The Bruins won 5-3 at Washington, lost here on NESN this Thursday evening. I'll be along 30 minutes before that, of course, with Bruins Digest, as always. And that is the story from Boston Garden. The Bruins advance to the Wales Conference Finals, the Final 4 of the National Hockey League.
With a last-minute win to wrap up the series. Bob Lobel has highlights and a live report from the Garden next on Nightcast.
Live from WBZ-TV4, this is Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
Good evening. Here's what's happening. It's au revoir Montreal. The Bruins eliminate the Canadiens from Stanley Cup contention, winning Game 5 of the division playoffs.
What an ending tonight. With just 73 seconds left, Glenn Wesley blasted a rebound pass. Patrick Roy to break a 1-1 tie. Bruins go on to win 3-1.
Bob Lobel joins us now live from the celebrations at the Boston Garden. And what drama tonight, Bobby?
All right, Elizabeth, this was a sporting event of gigantic proportions tonight. The pressure cooker of all pressure cookers. You could have cut the tension with a knife. And the Boston Bruins in a 1-1 hockey game with the Montreal Canadiens with a minute 13 left. For all intents and purposes, sudden death. And when Wesley pulled the trigger, it was sudden death for the Montreal Canadiens. They have been eliminated. Wesley beating Patrick Roy to give the Bruins a 2-1 lead. They cashed in an empty net goal later on right there. That was the winner. The Garden erupted in bedlam. The Bruins skate away with the 3-1 win over the Canadiens and eliminate them. Raymond Bourque standing alongside. And what drama tonight.
Very much, winning it with over a minute left, so dramatic, and it was just such a great feeling on a bench, on the ice, the fans, and able to win it here in a 5th game after really playing not a very good game in Montreal, and finding a way to win. It was really tough all night. It was hot in here, and we battled back.
You said finding a way to win because at a pretty good portion of this hockey game, the Montreal Canadiens really had the better of the play throughout the second period and somewhat into the third, and you withstood that. And that seemed to turn the tide.
Well, yes, and in the second period, they probably had the better of the chances, but I think it was up and down all night, and I think for most...
The Little Prince, and of course...
Against 2 seasons ago.
It seemed back then you guys emotionally were really high.
Must have a shot to win the game.
It absolutely did, and we were a little tentative to start the third period, but we bounced back, we got our composure, and Wesley, who scored the goal, really did take control of his game. He started to carry it and look
Fighting for your life.
and
We didn't want to go up for Game 6 in Montreal. We all know how that feels. We let them kind of get back in the series a little bit by them winning the 4th game, but we had to regroup and really come out here and play a good, strong game, and we were able to find a way to win. And it's just so nice not being able to go out there and play a 6th game and get a few days of rest.
Well, congratulations, Raymond. A terrific win, a terrific series against Montreal. It could have gone either way because the team...
I'm happy.
Strike fear into your hearts.
A lot of
control here. We had to have we took a lot of cheap shots. I mean, an awful lot. I hope the people of Boston understand. We tried to retaliate tonight. It almost backfired on us. And if we keep our composure, take our hits, give our hits, that's the way we're going to win hockey
It's
games.
an endorsement for your system, which has been successful all year.
Well, I hope it is. I hope it reads that.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
We're as tough as anybody.
And we have as much character as anybody, and we just have to... It's an emotional game. You want to play with emotion, but you have to...
This is Bob Lobel. Liz, Jack?
Control system.
Okay, Mike, thank you. I appreciate the chat. Mike Milbury here in the Boston Garden, where the Bruins have eliminated the Montreal Canadiens in 5 games. I can tell you it will be the Washington Capitals in the next round, and then if Boston can get through that, it'll be on to the Stanley Cup.
Today, when a jury convicted...
Ronnie and Mike Lisser's which fast
In the playoffs.
I was waiting for that.
Give another chance, Ed, because we're coming back in sports, so we're going to give another chance. As Ed said, Washington won, so the first 2 games of the Washington series are next Thursday and Saturday at the Garden, so start scrounging for tickets now.
Right.
And if you're good, Nat, I may come up with one for you.
Sure, promise.
You think about that, let the puck come to me.
Well, you think about that, and you get an opportunity like that to be able to do something like that, and it's a great thrill to have that happen to you, especially in front of your home crowds where they've been polling all year long, and they've been so supportive for us, and we're really happy right now and looking forward to going on to the next round.
All right, Glenn Wesley, your goal made the place shake tonight. Congratulations. Bruins eliminate Montreal in 5 games. Washington is up next. The Bees are halfway home to the Stanley Cup. John?
All right, Jack Edwards live outside the Boston Garden locker room. Great job out there. Halfway home, the Boston Bruins are 8 wins down, 8 wins to go. Much more in terms of highlights and locker room reaction later in sports. RD?
John re-racked those 4 goals. We'll look at them a little later.
Again and again and again.
Fans waited a half hour or more to get into the Sports Depot in Alston. Inside, 3 dozen TVs carried the live action of the first period to the college-age dinner crowd hungry for a Bruins goal. It came a little past 8 o'clock.
Burridge onside, short-handed, over the line. A backhander scores! Short-handed! Randy Burridge from Dave Pullen to make it 1-0 Boston.
Yes! All the way! Stanley Cup bound, boys!
Why would you want to be in a bar room for the Bruins rather than at home?
I don't have NESN.
Is this more fun to be in a place like this watching the Bruins than it would be at home?
Definitely.
Why is that?
The crowd gets into it, and, you learn more about the place, too, because I'm still kind of learning.
At Champion Sports Bar in the Back Bay, an older but not necessarily more controlled crowd settled in for the second period. A lot of folks say hockey fans are notorious for being boisterous and rowdy. What do you think?
I definitely agree.
That's not true. We're not. We're very civil.
But it sounded more like civil disorder when the Bruins finally won.
Over the line, shot, scores! Cam Neely wraps it up with 5 seconds left. The Bruins win the Adams division.
How was it?
Oh, it was great.
Did you have any doubt when there were 2 minutes left?
No, no doubts at all. It was breathtaking.
What did you think? Did you have some worries?
Yes, when they tied it.
There may be nothing like it.
So, Juan, there'd be a lot of confidence with the fans of the Garden, but there was some really strong feelings tonight.
Absolutely,
Nervous feelings.
absolutely. Bob Lobel is standing by live at the Garden with the whole story. Bobby.
All right, Elizabeth, you can't see him yet, but Mike Milbury's on my right and Glenn Wesley's on my left, and we'll get to them. You guys can take a look at some of these highlights here because the Bruins come up with a dramatic, and I emphasize the word dramatic, 3-1 win in this pressure cooker tonight. Early in the game, Chris Chelios picked right up where he left off in Game 4, a high stick to Janney. He also goes after Janney's sore shoulder. Again, the Bruins do not retaliate then, and Chelios has a few choice words for some of the Bees. The Bruins didn't capitalize on that penalty, but later with the Canadians on a power play, a Randy Burridge backhander gets by Patrick Roy. That was the only goal of the first period, thanks to Andy Moog, who was spectacular in the nets for Boston.
Canadians break it out. All alone, Carbonneau in alone. Save! Andy Moog on Carbonneau!
it would be 1-0 after one and 1-0 for most of the second. But the final minute of the second period, right after the Bruins killed the penalty, Matt Schneider sets up Stéphane Lebeau with 33 seconds left in that period, 1-1 after two. Third period, the Bruins had 1 goal disallowed. And then in this sequence, they have Roy way out of position. The Bruins do everything but put the puck in the net until Glenn Wesley gets the game winner.
Trying to get it, Janney, prop, back to Janney, out for Galley, a shot, high, rebound, knocked away, Wesley, scores! Wesley, with 1:13 left, scores! The Bruins lead 2-1!
With 1:13 left, this building erupted tonight with a sound that you haven't heard around these parts in a long, long time. Neely finished it off with the empty netter, and the Bruins skate away with a 3-1 win, and they're all celebrating with Andy Moog. Well, Mike, number 26, your old number, got the game winner tonight. Rather prophetic, wouldn't you say?
Well, I can't take any credit for that. I mean, this guy was playing great in the last period. What I liked about Wes's game was he took control of it. He just grabbed the puck and went with it. A lot of guys would just give it away, and Wes, under pressure, took the puck, looked for offensive opportunities. He deserved to get the goal. He really did.
Was there anything sweeter than that?
I don't think so. You know, there's one more goal for us, and you know, that's to go on and win the Stanley Cup. And you know, we got a long ways ahead of it, but you know, we're looking forward to the rest of the series.
When that puck came out there, did your eyes light up like Christmas tree balls?
Definitely.
What were you thinking? Or was it just
That's
strictly reaction?
tighten up, will you, man?
I was thinking, you know, shoot the puck. You know, the opportunity was there, and two other guys went down, and I knew I had to get it up on top of them.
Well, it was a sweet, sweet moment for you, and a sweet moment for
Bob,
this team.
I got to tell you, the crowd reaction just before the goal, you know, with about 2 minutes to go, everybody stood up on their feet. They gave us that adrenaline pump that the team needed at that point, and I'd just like to say thank you. It was great. They really needed it, and you gave it to us.
All right, congratulations to both of you. Washington's in here Thursday night because they won an overtime, and we're going to take a look at that overtime goal because the Rangers are finished. This one tonight goes into overtime with the Capitals winning.
Made their record 0-2 in this playoff season in overtime. Caps keep it in. Courtnall fires toward the net. They score!
John Druce.
John Druce crashing the net has jammed it in, and the Washington Capitals win the series at 6:48.
All right, so the Capitals win 2-1. They'll be here Thursday to open up the next series, one series away from the Stanley Cup Finals for the Boston Bruins. The Rangers are gone. The Red Sox, a dramatic win tonight over at Fenway Park. This was a one-run, one-goal night all around Boston. Mike Greenwell breaks out of his slump with 2 home runs in this game, but the Sox trail 6-4 going into the 9th. Tony Pena, he hit a home run to make it 6-5. He had 4 hits tonight. Then with 2 out, second and third, Ellis Burks faces Gene Nelson.
Up the middle, it is a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Pena, and the Red Sox win.
Dramatic win for the Red Sox tonight. A dramatic win for the Boston Bruins tonight. And in the NBA, the Chicago Bulls dispatched Milwaukee 111-97. That's our sports, and it's been all the Bruins tonight.
Those nights for sports is big news, John.
Yeah, it was very big news. The Red Sox will be lost in the shuffle of all of this after more than 58 minutes of gut-wrenching hockey at Boston Garden that saw neither team establish an advantage on the scoreboard. The Bruins dug down deep as regulation began to wane. In the end, it was apparent that Boston wanted it more, and they would get it in spite of a spectacular effort in goal by Patrick Roy. The Bruins carve out a terrific 3-1 win at the Garden, and believe me, that score doesn't begin to tell the tale of how even this hockey game really was. Boston got a leg up, though, exactly 10 minutes into period number 1.
Bruins move it up, can break out with it. A lead now for Burridge. Burridge onside, short-handed, over the line. A backhander, scores! Short-handed! Andy Burridge from Dave Pullen to make it 1-0 Boston.
Time now for the goaltenders to go to work. Andy Moog first on the firing line. Turned back Guy Carbonneau on that breakaway. Moments later, Andy Moog will have to come up big again as he thwarts Russ Courtnall's big slapper from the circle. A great scoring chance. No good, though. Bruins led 1-0 after 1. In the second, Roy begins to earn his money. Carter, 2 short-handed testers. He stops them both. Later in the period, the Bruins apply a 3-shot flurry. Beers, Burridge, and Pullen. Roy slams the door on all 3. In the final minute of the second period, after the Bruins had killed off their 6th penalty of the game, Some defensive confusion allows Matt Schneider to set up Stefan Lebeau for his third of the playoffs, and it's a 1-1 hockey game after 2. Midway through the third, Hogwood rushes the net with the puck, Ludwig in tow. It looks like a goal as the goaltender, the defenseman, and the scorer all go in. They disallow it.
Kept in by Wesley.
And now the hero.
Wesley fires it in deep. Prop trying to get it. Janney. Prop back to Janney. Out for Galley. A shot. High. Rebound. Hopped away. Wesley scores. Wesley with 1:13 left scores. The Bruins lead 2-1.
After nearly 59 minutes of hockey, the Bruins finally established the edge. The celebration is on, but there is work to be done. 5 seconds left on the clock when Cam Neely nets the empty netter with Patrick Roy on the bench. Yes, the Bruins take a 3-1 lead as the clock ticks out. Mike Milbury can finally celebrate. Andy Moog can finally celebrate. Bruins win it 3-1 and vanquish the Canadiens 4-1. So, the Adams Division title belongs to Boston. They will set their sights on the Wales Conference title starting Thursday night at Boston Garden. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's head down to the locker room where Jack Edwards joins us live from just outside that joyous Bruin dressing room. Jack?
All right, John, thanks very much. Joining us is the captain, Ray Bourque. And, of course, this victory over the Canadiens, 4-1 means a lot to everybody on this team. But perhaps to no one is it more meaningful than to a young man who grew up in Montreal and still lives there. Can you describe the feeling of pride that you have as Bruins captain to beat those guys from your hometown?
Well, you know, it started when I was a young kid, when I was actually wanted to play for the Canadiens, and ended up in Boston, and being here for 11 years now, and just going through so many rough times in the history of Montreal doing a job on the Bruins. I mean, it really gets to you in a hurry, and I'll tell you, the first time it happened 2 years ago was like, it was unreal, because it was so many years before we've accomplished that, and doing it again this year is so sweet, and you know, it's just so nice to be able to, you know, this year we've got a great team, you know, and it's not a fluke, it's not luck, and put all those things to rest, you know. You have to hear and deal with so much that's being said about the history of between the Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens and the ghost and the form and all this kind of stuff, and it's going to die. I mean, it's going to die because 2 out of the last 3 years we've been able to beat them. And I'll tell you, I'm from Montreal, and I spent some time there, but I'm a Bruin and right through, and there's no better feeling for me to beat any other team than Montreal. And 2 of the last 3 years, I mean, you don't know what this does for me, my family, my friends, and all of us during the summertime. We have a blast.
Couldn't be better said. Ray Bourque, the captain of the Bruins, thanks very much for joining us. Bruins beat Montreal 4-1. Washington's up next. John?
Interesting comments indeed from the Bruin captain. So next up for the Bees, the Washington Caps starting Thursday night at Boston Garden. That